The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers Podcast, show number 298. We record on March the 7th, 2020. I am one of your hosts, Jesus, also known as Jesus Walks Out. Today, I'm joined by my friend from the West Coast, the best coast, Gunny Chief, Henley Merrill. Welcome back, Gunny. Welcome.
Hey, it's good to be here, hunkering down on the West Coast.
Oh, hunkering down.
Playing games. How you doing?
Howdy, partner.
I got paper towels. I got a camping
stove. Do you
stove.
have toilet paper? I hear this is a
very
rare commodity.
I probably have the last pack in Northern California.
Oh, my God.
Not giving out my address.
How much?
And a half a bottle of Purell.
How much for that bottle of Purell and toilet paper?
Oh, you want a barter, do you?
How much, Gunny? Last week I gave you $200 for your mask. What do we got this week?
Okay, so $100 even. I'll tell you what, you give me a bottle of propane, I'll give you a half a box of toilet paper.
How many rolls is in half a box?
Let's see here. I've got 12.
12? You got
to
that
wipe
24
your ass
pack?
for
you motherfucker.
4 days.
How about I give you a quarter tank of propane and some jerky?
Ooh, I think you've got yourself a deal.
Nice, partner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. We're giving you people a simulation of what it's going to be like in the next 7 months when the fucking world ends.
I'm telling you, every time I turn the news on, it's like, holy cow, turn that news off. Hey, check it out.
Whoa,
check it out. Whoa. Before you call out this next guest we've got on here, I've got a person at work. She's going on a cruise to Mexico. I'm like, good luck and goodbye.
Oh, have you not seen all the boats that get quarantined this time?
I know. I was like, you're kidding me, right? Yeah. She's like, no, I'm going.
Oh,
all right.
Fuck. Oh, shit. That's scary. Anyways, we got another person from Little Ohio coming back from wrangling, all the wrangling. Is that what they do? I don't know what wrangling something. The Mayo is back.
Whoa, not again.
Hey, what's up, guys? Long time.
Hey Mayo.
Good to hear.
A little stip and sore from that horseback riding trip, that 2 week long trip. You know that kind of wears a person out. You know, but yeah,
hands are all calloused.
Ready to go. Yeah, no, like hands are all calloused and blistered and. Back is all sore from bouncing around, and yeah,
you walk
ready to go.
Like wearing those cowboy boots must be tough.
Yeah,
right.
You guys see this ray of light coming in?
Yeah, you get like glowing over there.
Fucking, very holy light.
Don't look into the light. That's how you get it.
That's how you get it.
Close that curtain.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. You can follow us on all this shit. Facebook. Join our Facebook group, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. On Patreon at patreon.com/Horrible Gamers. You can support the show with the monies. Like Adam Sunday has, Alan Maybe H, Bill Garner II, Brandon Willier, Brian Capessa, Chad Commandalorian, David Snyder, Evan T, Naka, Henley M, Jesse Kraft, John Jerome, Jonathan Big D Hall, M Polo, MacMod, Nipron, Robbie Wheat, The Mayo, Subbader, and Vader Holic. Thank you guys for being Patreon machines. Yeah. And you can head on over to Stitcher. Gunny, you can head on over to Stitcher right now and sign up for your 1 year or monthly, up to you. So 1 year is $34.99, month to month is $4.99. But you can sign up for a premium account, Gunny. Now you're wondering, why the hell do I need a premium account? Well, let me tell you why. Listener. Because you get an ad-free listening experience as well as premium content exclusive to premium members. So there's a lot of podcasts on there that you cannot listen to as a hobo listener. You just
That's right.
can't.
You want exclusives? Go to Stitcher.
I'm like, sorry, you cannot listen to this because you're a hobo listener. You must be a premium member. And so you got to sign up for premium. It's very easy to sign up. Just head on over to stitcher.com/premium. In the sign up page, though, if you want to know a secret tip, under promo codes, use promo code HorribleGamers, all caps, no spaces, and get yourself a free month of Stitcher Premium. Yeah.
It's the best deal.
Yeah. Yeah, get yourself a free month. Why not? I mean, it doesn't hurt nobody, right? Right, Gunny?
No. Sign up today.
Go. Sign up today at stitcher.com/premium. Promo code HorribleGamers. Now, if you want to wear some shirts, Gunny, like you're doing right now for once, you're wearing a shirt.
I've got the old HGP shirt on.
Yes, he does. He has the old HGP shirt on. Anyways, you can buy shirts like Gunny is wearing over on Redbubble. You just search in the Redbubble search engine. You search for Horrible Gamers. You see a guy wearing our shirt. You click on that guy. You click on the thing that says plus 70 or 70 plus. And then it'll give you 70 plus items you can purchase. All labeled with Horrible Gamers stuff. Like stickers.
I've got them right here.
Or knickers.
Pickers? No.
Flickers. I don't know what else to say.
Me neither. I can't.
Mixers.
You got me on that one.
Anyways, on our Redbubble, get yourself some gear. Look at Gunny. He's holding this thing up to the camera. What are you doing, Gunny?
I've got my Redbubble stickers.
Oh, you Gunny.
My HGP stickers that Jonathan made.
Nice. Thank you, Jonathan. Look at that. Gunny's supporting your art. There you go. Good job. Good job, Gunny. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I want to plug real quick our Discord. You can head on over to Discord and join our Discord. It is a pretty active community on there. All of us are PC gamers, console gamers, etc. I've now enabled emojis that are exclusive to us, Gunny.
Oh, nice.
So I've added some emojis on there. I added the Brussels sprout, peace out Brussels sprout emoji to there. And I've added some other emojis to there. Yeah, that's right. Look at Mayo. He's looking at it like, oh, I need to find these emojis.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. You know, we getting all these big boy things on Discord now. We got like a flashing like icon for our server now, and
boost that
emojis.
nitro.
I didn't know that all that came with that boosted shit.
yeah, it did.
So people, if you
We
get
just had to put a little bit
like
into it,
those
but yeah.
boosts or nitro, you're a nitro subscriber or whatever, go boost our server. Why not? We really appreciate it. And it makes a better experience for everybody. So go and boost that shit right now. Go, go, go. Anyways, quick thank you to Fowler and Twistix for the intro song to the podcast called Breakout. And a quick thank you to MacMod for his song on the podcast.
Thank you, Mac.
Called Collecting Data. Collecting data.
He's collecting all our data.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's hacked us. Anyways, let's get to talking about video games this week, and we've been playing Gunny. I've been playing games, Gunny.
Yeah. I played a couple of those.
Well, let me talk about some games that I've been playing. What do you think I've been playing?
Oh, let me think. It's probably starts at a C and ends in a D. There's an O in between that.
Some COD. Yep, that's right, Gunny. You're completely 100% right. How did you know me so well, Gunny?
You know, I can see what you've been playing, what you're playing during the week, on the weekend, because we're always connected.
Yeah. Anyways,
I thought he just leaves that game on idle. I thought every time I see him, he's just got Call of Duty running in the background. I just figure he probably leaves the game in the menu or something, and he's hiding in a corner.
No, Call of Duty has been very addicted to me this week. I mean, I just can't get enough of it. I finally, guys, I completed all my gold gun challenges for my SMGs. Finally, so I got platinum SMGs now, Gunny. Platinum.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, they're all silver and platinum shiny like. But now I gotta go do my assault rifle gold gun shit. I don't want to. Gunny. Do I have to?
I think you have to. At this point, you're going to have to.
Yeah, you're invested
Starting
now.
tonight, That'll be your goal.
I mean,
challenge.
I got another golden shotgun. I got one of the shotguns gold as well. I mean, I have a couple assault rifles gold already, like the M4 and the AK. But I'm gonna have to work on like the Kilo 130 or whatever, and then the stupid ass fucking Odin, and then the Scar, the FAL, which I hate. But I'll do it, Gunny. I'll do it.
I think you need to. I think you need some like new gold rims for your Buick. I just see you cruising to work with those.
And guess what? I completed all the co-op missions finally. I finally beat them all.
Oh, nice. How many is there?
We're like about 10 or 12 missions. Okay. They're all pretty difficult, Gunny. You got to have a pretty good squad. But somehow the other day I ended up squatted up with a really good team, and we just wrecked it. We like went in there and just we were all like on top of our shit and got through them pretty quickly.
As much as I play only certain games or what have you, but I do pop into streams and like just to kind of look at different strategies to prepare myself if I ever go back to that game. And yeah, that looks tough. Yeah,
it really is. It is ridiculous how many enemies come at you, but we were able to beat it, me and these random players. We weren't even talking or nothing. We just were able to just all get in there and just shoot the shit out of things and beat it. Gets real difficult, but yeah, once you beat it, you're supposed to unlock a character, but it never gave me that character. So I think it's glitched out. Because it says I have everything that it tells me, like you completed all these missions, but it didn't give me this character that it's supposed to unlock when you complete all the co-op missions. So I don't know. It kind of pisses me off, but whatever. I read on the forums that there's a glitch that you have to redo some missions, and then sometimes you have to redo them all. I'm like, I'm not going to redo these all. I'm not redoing them all. Fuck you. I'm not redoing these fucking missions. You know what I mean? Like, no way. No fucking way.
Hey, what's the status on, since you're in the know of things for Call of Duty? What about the Battle Royale game? Isn't that supposed to be this month?
Rumor has it that it was supposed to be this month. No one really knows. I mean, since it was added to the menu last month, I'm assuming it's sometime this month for sure. Maybe St. Patrick's Day, Gunny.
That'd probably be a good time to do it. I think they should do it now since America's on vacation for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I think it'd be the best time.
Yeah.
Just give us that.
The spring break.
Yep.
Anyways, besides Call of Duty and all that good stuff, like I said, I've been just really addicted to that fucking game. I'm trying to work on some challenges. The game is really difficult sometimes. But yeah. It's a blast, though. Anyways, Call of Duty. I've been playing some other stuff as well, Gunny. This week, I went ahead and I bought a new game just today, actually, not too long ago. Earlier today, I bought a game on Steam. It came out on March 6th, so it came out yesterday, I believe. And it's called Your Grace or something like that.
I saw that somewhere. I think it was Xbox, yeah, or yeah, it's on the.
It could be on
main
Xbox.
Store.
I don't know what it's on, but I know.
No,
I saw
it's
it
on the main
Steam.
store page. Yeah.
And pretty much, it's like a $16 game. It's usually priced at $20, but they got like the sale for like launching or whatever. They got it on sale, and it's very interesting. It's like a 2D game. It's pixelated, so it's like pixelated art. So you are a king of a kingdom. And you have a wife, which I'm assuming is the queen, and then you have like 3 daughters. One's like 13, the other one's like 10 or 12, and the littlest one is like 7 or something. And your job is as a king to like give answer what people want. So like every day there'll be like a line of people that line up next to the throne. And your job is to like answer their requests, right? So like some guy will be like, hey, like we got robbed by bandits. We need your help. And you're like, okay, how can I help you? And then you have like a choice of like, you can replace the stuff that got stolen, or you could give him gold to go buy more stuff, or you can send like the general to go investigate and see what the hell's going on with these bandits or whatever. You know what I mean? So you have different things, but like for example, Gunny, say your general gets tied up doing that, then your general cannot perform another task that could be more important to you at the time. You know what I mean? So like the game starts off like that, and pretty much the whole premise of it is like this barbarian group or whatever of like barbarians are headed towards your castle, towards your kingdom. And the thing is, you promised that barbarian, one of the barbarians, like I think he's like the leader of the barbarians, you promised him that your firstborn daughter was going to marry him when she came of age. So that's why he's coming. He's like, hey, motherfucker, I'm coming to get her. And you're like, oh, no. Shit. Like, no. Why did we promise her?
But what was I thinking back then? I must have been drunk.
No, the thing is, back then, I think what happened was, like, you and your wife got kidnapped by the barbarians, and they were going to kill you both because they knew she was pregnant. But, like, you made a deal with them, like, saying, like, look, if you fucking, like, if you let us go, our firstborn daughter will be your wife or whatever. And then he was like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll let you go. But now he's coming back for her. So, like, you have to quickly, at the beginning of the game, you have to make an alliance with another king to, like, raise an army. Because you have, like, 50 soldiers, but, like, this dude's coming with, like, a huge army. So, like, I went to, like, the king that has the biggest army, and this guy has, like, a 3,000 army, like, a big-ass army, you know, like, 3,000 soldiers, you know what I mean? And I tell him, like, look, dude, I need your help. You know, like, this asshole's coming to fucking attack me because he wants to marry my daughter. How can we make an alliance so I can use your army to defend my castle? And he's like, well, my son is looking for a wife. What if we marry your daughter off to my son instead? And you let me use your library, and, you know, like, I'll send my army over and we'll protect you. And I was like, yes. So then your daughter kind of hates you in the beginning because you're marrying her off to some fucking king, some prince somewhere. And everything's going pretty fine, Gunny. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, right? So, like, every week ends, like, every time, like, you click to go to the next week, you have your balance of, like, how much tax came in, like, how much income you've made, what payments you have to make, for example, like repairing buildings or paying back the bank. If you take a loan out, you have to pay them back every week. Or, like, paying for your army or your soldiers or your generals. You have to, like, balance all that out, right, every week. So then the next week, you know, like, it came and, like, you have to talk to, like, the thing is, you also have to have, like, dialogue with your family. So you go and you talk to your kids, and then, like, oh, like, the kids are fighting with each other. Like, oh, I fucking hate my sister. She's a stupid bitch. And you're like, oh, you need to calm down. You know, like, you guys are fucking siblings. You need to get along with each other. And then there's all this shit going on, right? But at the same time, the whole time, the goal is to keep the kingdom safe and keep it from not falling apart. And it's kind of like Game of Thrones, where, like, it's like impending fucking doom is coming. Like, the fucking White Walkers are coming, Gunny. They're fucking coming. You know they're a threat, but you don't know when they're going to get there. You have no idea when they're going to get there. They're just going to get there one day, and you better hope your ass is ready. So anyways, like, this whole thing about this whole marrying my daughter out to this dude to, like, get a bigger army, it all was going perfectly fine, Gunny, right?
Right.
I paid for the wedding. I paid for a band. I paid for the fucking silk. I paid for all that shit. And what happens at the wedding? She
backs out.
Someone poisoned the other king. The king that, like, made a treaty with me. So then, like, his son, you know, was married to my daughter already. So, like, his son becomes a new king of their land or whatever. And he's like, you know what? This was your castle, and you fucking poisoned my father. So now I'm backing out, and my army is not going to come and defend you. And you're like, oh, fuck. So your daughter leaves with this asshole, right? She has to leave with him because she's his wife now. And now you're trying to figure out what the fuck happened, who poisoned the king, because it wasn't you. So you're trying to figure out, like, why the fuck somebody poisoned this asshole? Who sabotaged me? Who set me up? And now I have, like, a whole list of kings and kingdoms that can, like ask for alliances and like, make treaties with them and shit. And, like, some people won't ally with you because you're friends with another group or, like, another person or whatever. So there's all this politics going on, with family drama going on, with personal problems going on in your kingdom, you know what I mean? Like, your people in your kingdom are, like, they're either going to like you because you're helping them a lot, but sometimes you got to deny their request, Gunny, because you don't have enough gold to help them, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. True.
So, like, they'll come up to you and they'll be like, look, sir, like, my dad is dying. Like, I need medicine. Can you help me? And you're like, well, fuck. I can give you, like, 10 gold to go buy medicine. Or how about you just go see the witch that lives in the forest and leave me the fuck alone right now because I don't have enough gold to spare, you know what I mean? So, like, people sometimes will hate you and, like, eventually I'm assuming if, like, the happiness of the populace goes down enough to, like, 0, I'm assuming they come and try to kill you or something. I haven't gotten down that low yet. I'm, like, in 20-something.
Does the barbarian, like, I'm just curious if the barbarian shows up at that point, like once you get so low, or does he come at the end of like 5 or 6 weeks?
That's what I don't know, Gunny.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's kind of like a tense game because the barbarian sent me a letter, Gunny. He sent me a fucking letter, and he's like, "Hey, motherfucker, this is King whatever the fuck, and I'm coming for you." And see, at first we thought he was just a barbarian, like, oh, he's a barbarian. Like, barbarians are unorganized. They're not trained soldiers. They don't know how to fucking fight like an army. You know, like a trained army can defeat 1,000 barbarians. And it's like, no, he calls himself a king now. So that means he must have an army that's following him because he's a king, you know what I mean? And he's coming our direction. So, like, fuck, what do we do? So, like, the whole point of the story now is for me to try to, like, build up an army and hopefully have enough defenses and supplies to, like, fight a battle against these people when they do show up. I just hope I do it right, Gunny.
Sounds like a cool story. Like,
it's like very Game of Thrones, like, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. Like, will you survive? Probably not. Maybe.
Yeah, you're probably gonna die a miserable death, and everyone around you is probably gonna die very miserably too. But at least you're all together.
Hey, you know, at least like, hey, my family hates me. I probably deserved it. Right?
And the thing is, I'm not trying to be a dick to people. I'm trying to be like nice to people. Like, I'm trying to like be a noble king. You know, we're trying to help people and shit. But at the same time, it's like
not very noble to marry your daughter off to somebody else when you promised the barbarian. Damn it. That was my first thought. I thought, yeah, but what can you do, right? I mean, you
fuck
just
the barbarian. Yeah, you know, you're not gonna like. Yeah, she's royalty, Gunny. She can't be marrying no fucking barbarian, dude. All right,
that's your princess. I get it.
You know, she can't be marrying no fucking barbarian, bro. We know we made a promise. We fucked up. Yeah, it happens. I was drunk. I don't know, man. But yeah, like the game is very interesting. I don't know if it's on PlayStation or anything else. Is it? I don't know.
I just see it here on the Steam for $17.99. Looks interesting. It's got very positive on all the reviews.
Yeah, I read all the reviews, and some of the reviews are saying that it's a very fun game and it gets very difficult at times. And I've definitely seen some of that, you know, because like when everything goes down south at the wedding, you're like, oh fuck. You know, because everything's going fine. You got this army that's going to come back you up. You know, you're getting people that making an alliance with you and shit. And then everything goes south, Gunny, with one person dying. Like, what the fuck? Why?
Damn, that is some Game of Thrones shit. Like,
why?
Like, Joffrey, what the hell?
Yeah, like one asshole dies and everybody goes to war. Anyways, besides all that good stuff, Gunny, guess what I re-downloaded? Guess what I re-downloaded this week?
Re-downloaded.
House Flipper.
Nope.
Stellaris? Wait, you never played that one. Frostpunk.
Nope. What's a game that I finished that I deleted recently?
Death Stranding.
Yes!
Boom. See? I know these things.
I re-downloaded that motherfucker so quick, Gunny, the other day.
Why? DLC?
Because I missed it. What do you mean, why?
You missed that world, do you?
I missed the Death Stranding. I don't even know what I missed of it, because all I did was get in there and kill people, and I logged out.
How's the zipline network doing? Did you check that out?
No, so I checked out one of my bridges, like my very first bridge I ever built, and it's still there, dude. It's perfectly there. Like, it's just fine. Still there, chilling.
Sweet.
It has like 14,000 likes or whatever. And it's level 3. Somebody upgraded it to level 3, and it plays music when you walk across it and shit. It's pretty badass.
Nice.
But yeah, I didn't get to go check my zipline network because it was like too far away, and I was like, I'm not gonna go across this whole map with BTs and all that shit. I don't want to deal with all that. But yeah, Death Stranding.
That's coming to PC soon. No, not. I don't know. When is it? May.
June.
Okay, it's a little bit away.
No, 3 months.
Not too far though. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I see Steam promoting it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's coming to fucking Steam real quick. So, get ready for that, people. I just wonder how they're going to do it on a mouse and keyboard. Like, how are they going to do the balancing and all that shit? Or, like, the soothing the baby and all that? I don't know. How?
Left and right, up and down arrows, something.
You have to rock the mouse back and forth, I bet. Or something.
There you go. In a swooping motion, not back and forth. It'll be like an arch, like soothing. You can't just go straight back and forth.
It has to be something.
Straight back and forth to be shaking the baby.
Because on the controller, you can't shake it. Like, you can't shake the controller. You have to be, like, really gentle with the controller. And then it'll, like, pacify the baby or whatever. And then, but the controller has other features, too. Like, the baby cries to the controller speakers and shit. I guess you just won't have it on the PC. But we'll see. I don't know. It's going to look amazing on the PC, though. That's one thing that I'm going to be like, fuck.
I know there's a workaround. You can use a PlayStation controller on your PC. So I wonder if they'll have some kind of support for it.
Yeah,
like, as an option.
Yeah, they'll probably be like, the PlayStation 4 DualShock is recommended to use if you want to use a gamepad for this game.
Or you just use an Xbox controller. But why would you do that?
Why would you? It's a PlayStation game, Gunny. It's a fucking PlayStation game.
I'm using my Xbox Elite controller.
No,
Fuck the DualShock.
But yeah, I re-downloaded that game. I kind of missed it, and then I got in there and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do, Gunny. It was overwhelming.
Like you've been gone too long and you were kind of lost, or what?
Like I still remember the stuff, but I'm like, what do I do now? Do I make deliveries? Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Just for old time's sake, you could have.
I guess. Instead, I just got in my car and started driving around, and the mule started fucking with me, so I shot them, and it said that I killed them, and it was like, hey, Sam Porter, that dude, what's his name? What the fuck's his name? The black guy, the dude who wears the mask. Die Hard Man. He was like, hey, Sam Porter, you fucked up. You killed somebody. Now you gotta take him to the incinerator. I'm like, fuck this. I'm logging off. Log off. Goodbye. Goodbye. Let's create a void out.
Now you're getting tasks. You're out, right?
Yeah. Fuck this. I wanted to just explore the world at my own pace and fucking use zip lines or whatever. I didn't want to do all this shit. So then I left.
So you know what I'm thinking? Like the way you're talking about just kind of going back, checking out, the graphics, art style, whatever in this game and things that, what if they had like some sort of, call it kind of like a creative mode, but without all the tasks and objectives coming at you. These static objectives that are being thrown at you, like you said.
What do you mean?
But still include like the BTs or what have you, not unlimited supplies. Just something like an exploration mode. There you go. What do you think?
That would be like the game. It would be the same thing as the normal game, pretty much. Except that you actually can pick whatever mission you want to do, but in the normal game, you get objectives sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes to PC. I don't know if the PC crowd's going to like it, Mayo. I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how it's received. Yeah. And I think some people, I myself am excited to at least try it. I may not like it, but I do want to try it. And I do want to see like how good they can make it look, and see that work they put into the game and see how well it looks on PC.
Yeah. It's going to look amazing, I bet. Anyways, that's all I played this week, guys. Really, that's all I fucking played. I haven't touched my Oculus. I was going to play some more Saints and Sinners, but it's really hard to play a game, where you have to put on a headset and all that after work. It really is hard.
Yeah.
It's tiring.
That is true. I was, I'll say this really quick. My son, he is that, like, he's got that Razer laptop and he's on that thing, he lives and breathes that thing. And I think he's just taken a break because, he's pretty much boxed it up and wants to send it in to, fix whatever heating issue and the keys that he broke on it. But I think he's just taking a break. He's been on the PlayStation nonstop, the PS4 and the VR for a week now. And man, watching him play Beat Saber like on a Wednesday night, I'm like sunk into the couch, and it's like I can barely move.
He's all full of energy, fucking swinging his arms around and shit. Like, oh fuck! No,
I was like, holy cow! No wonder I don't play this as much. Like, you gotta, that is some work right there. That is a workout.
That's the same way here. It's like I get on and I'll finally beat a level. And I'm like, yeah, I finally beat that level. I'm awesome. And my daughter goes on and she like tops my score the very first time she's tried it, and she hasn't played in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I found out a way to mod that too, so that's good.
Yeah. What do you think of the 360 mode?
I haven't played it.
You haven't played that one yet? You need to try it.
No, I beat your score though in some songs. I was looking at your like single player songs, and I was like, oh. No.
He's throwing a gauntlet down. I'm going to have to go back in there and let my daughter go into my name.
Have your daughter.
Yeah. The Mayo has beat you.
There is some scores that I don't know. I don't know how you got a certain score. I think you cheated because there was one of them. I forget what song it was, but I legit got a perfect song. Like I didn't miss one key at all. Like everything was perfect. I hit all the blocks perfectly, and I got a perfect song, and yet you still beat my score by like 5,000. I'm like,
what?
How? How did he still beat my score? If I got like a perfect song, like I didn't miss any keys. I know I didn't miss any because my combo was like 400 and something. So.
Well, then too, it matters, right, by how big your swing is, like how good your follow through is on a cut, and it also like how center your cut are. You notice the little scores that pop up when you cut the blocks. Yeah. You can get like an 80, 90, 100, 109, 110.
You fucking cheater, Mayo.
You're a better swinger. Is that what you're saying, Mayo?
It could be.
Cheater. Fucking cheater, Mayo is a cheater.
Swinger.
He's a cheater.
It's
skilled.
I got longer arms than Jesus probably, so I can swing further down than he can. So, can you imagine if our guest the other day, who was it? Yoda the Third. he could swing in like, the game we automatically give him like triple score or something.
Move your arm 900 meters. He swings his arms 3 times and is done.
Congratulations.
You're done. You've reached I'm over here fucking swinging my arms like a maniac. I can't fucking get that score. It's ridiculous. Fuck. Anyways.
Don't worry, Jesus. He'll get his daughter back on again. It'll be 10,000 points more.
My score.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll take care of that.
Anyways. What are you guys
Anything else?
No, that's all I've been playing. I'm telling you guys, that's all I fucking played this week.
Well, I think I've been pretty busy with all my horseback riding the last couple of weeks, and trying to recover from all that. But I did want to kind of mention, since going back here, the last episode where I didn't actually get to be on, Jesus, you and I played Pavlov together in VR. And I was kind of want to hit on that a little bit, just how kind of fun I thought that was in VR. Once I figured out how to move around a little better with a gun, because I was trying to run around for the longest time and holding the gun up while I was moving around. And it's almost like a walk for your character. But then I remember me mentioning where I realized if you angle the gun down and when you move, it makes your character run. So he was able to get around a lot faster. But enjoyed that little bit we played, and then it was really cool, I thought, and I don't know how much you messed with this afterwards, but all the extra maps that you can download through the Steam Workshop that was available, and I just downloaded a couple initially, and I haven't had a chance to go back just because I've been busy, but there's one I downloaded. It was like a Rick and Morty, I think. It was like a Rick and Morty map that you could play. Yeah. And then there was a Minecraft map that you could do the shooter in. So just different craziness to it.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, they have a lot of maps. I mean, one of them that I noticed that was the most popular map, Gunny, was Nuketown. From Call of Duty.
A real small map, huh?
Yep. Real popular. Nuketown, and I think they even had a Rust map.
Yeah, I think there was Rust, and there was just a lot of options in there. I mean, it was like 1,000 maps that you could download.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy cow, look at all these options. And then too, I think when Jesus and I were playing, the first time we tried it, I think you did like the lake map off of CS:GO.
Yeah.
And I didn't have it. So when we were in the lobby, when Jesus wanted to start the round, it literally just had me download the map really quick. So it just told me, getting content, and it just showed it the progress bar and downloaded it really quick. And then we just played it together, and it was pretty simple.
It's super quick. Yeah, like downloading a map is kind of like if you ever play like Roblox. I know most people probably are listening like, what the fuck, Jesus? But I play Roblox with my kid, and it's like that when you launch a new game in Roblox, it kind of has to download the assets real quick. And that's kind of what it does in this. It's just downloading the assets real quick on the map, and boom, 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 and you're in, dude, like right away.
Yep, good to go.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fun that little bit we played. We got into an online match with some other people, and you could tell they were trying to figure it out also. Some that knew what they were doing, and there was other guys that were like trying to figure things out, and like it was literally just a death match we were playing. But some guys wouldn't even kill you right away. They would be like, "Don't shoot me, and I'm like, shoot him anyways.
Yeah. Noob.
The worst part for me is figuring out how to fucking reload a gun, dude.
That's so hard.
So many different guns in the game, Gunny, and every gun has to be reloaded like it's reloaded in real life.
Yes, the M249. I think I was so confused. I usually just drop it and try to knife somebody because I just give up on trying to reload it.
Yeah, the M249. You gotta like unhook that little thing and then put the fucking thing back on there and then put the fucking belt through the fucking thing. You gotta close it.
Yeah, the belt of the bullets and then all through.
There's no auto reload.
No,
come on.
No, dude. Like same for like revolvers. Because like a revolver, you have to like grab a bullet and put it in the fucking revolver, and keep putting them in there, and then like close it up.
Yeah.
Or like a shotgun. Like I had the worst one for me was the Spaz shotgun. I couldn't figure out how to reload that fucking thing, dude. I was like cocking it back. I finally threw it on the ground, gave it to Mayo. I'm like, fuck this gun, Mayo. I'm leaving.
Right. I don't know how many times I did that. I'm like, you kill somebody, you just take their gun. I'm like, all right, this thing's out of bullets. I don't even know how to use this thing. I'm taking that one.
There was another one like a submachine gun that like you have to like pop it up, or like you have to pull this little lever latch back, and then it pops out the magazine. Then you have to put the other one in, but then you have to like latch it back. It fucking sucks. I'm like, fuck all this.
People
shit.
Are shooting at you. You're trying to run.
All that.
Yeah, and you got like people shooting at you, dude. You got like 3 or 4 people shooting at you at once. You're running away from them, trying to figure out how to reload this thing. It is shitty. But
I do remember that one team deathmatch we did or something like that where we just got annihilated by this other team, and they were just absolutely destroyed. They were so much better, and you could tell they knew the game pretty well, and they were just destroying our team. And we were bad. I mean, I think we had all the new players. We had all the brand new Oculus Quest players, the ones that just got over Christmas. I don't know, because we were not an organized unit.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty good time.
Yeah, Pavlov is fun.
Have you had a chance? I guess too. I can hit on a little bit. Is I played just a little bit of Gorn. Have you had any time with that one yet, Jesus?
No, I haven't downloaded it. I just noticed that today that I had it on my library, so it's there. But
I only had a minute for the game, so I just literally just jumped in. I just want to see what it's about. 'Cause I knew it's like an arena fighter, and so I was like, I'm gonna check out and see what this is and kind of how it plays. And the arena's kind of small, but I'm like, I'm gonna definitely check this out. And when you go in there and this guy's like talking to you, and he's got like his giant head, and he's like, "Show me you're ready to fight. You have to raise your hands." And then so you put both hands up in the air, and it registers in. And so this big guy with like a really little legs, and like almost like those cartoon people, and he's like ginormous body. He comes walking over, and you have to do a fist fight with the guy. And then you beat him up and you take him out, and they're like, "Now are you ready to do another fight? Show your honor," kind of thing. And they give you, it's like a club with some nails sticking out at the end of it, and then you have to fight 2 guys. One guy has a club like you, and the other guy doesn't, and they both come at you at the same time. And you can, I was kind of waiting till they would swing on me, and then I would block it with my club, and then just counter hit, and you could just like hit the guy in the head, and he would like see stars, and he'd be stunned, and then you could beat him a couple times and pummel him into the ground, and then I would take on the guy that didn't have a weapon at all, and so once I beat him the first time with that weapon, it gave me that as an option in like a free player like open mode where you could just play in there and just select whatever weapons you want. So it looks like your progression is as you go through this little thing where you have to beat these different people, you can unlock more weapons for your free play, and so you can kind of mess around a little bit. It was pretty interesting. It was fun doing the hand-to-hand combat in that aspect. Like you watch this big guy walk up to you, and you know he's going to swing, and so you're going to try to counter how he's going to swing, and they swing fast enough like with their weapons you anticipate them going high, and they kind of change it to low, so you got to kind of like adjust and stuff. So it was pretty interesting, but I didn't get nearly the time I had wanted into it. I was getting ready to head out the door, I think, shortly after that, and
that's the problem with VR games, dude. Sometimes it take a bit to get like really into them, and then by the time you get really into them, it's like, fuck, I gotta go to bed, dude. It's been 3 hours.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I did pick up a couple games in that bundle too. You know, Moss was another one, and I have not gotten to play that one yet.
Yeah, I really want to play that.
Space Pirate one.
All these games are the ones that you're telling me.
I downloaded it.
They're all like the fucking games that were in that bundle, and I have them all, and I have them all downloaded. And just today I was looking at Moss. I was sitting there like, I'm like, I should really launch that and play it, because that game is actually pretty dope. Like, it looks amazing on the PSVR. I couldn't imagine what it looks like on the Rift. I was gonna say on the Quest. On the Rift, because the game it is fucking good. A lot of these games are great, man. But yeah, we'll see. I need to definitely get back to The Walking Dead and all those.
Yeah, let's see. But on another level, it sounds like when I listen to the show, like Walking Dead is just so much beyond what those are. So
no, it is. It's like you're in a zombie apocalypse, pretty much.
Now, I did try Boneworks. The first week I wasn't on this show, so I would have talked about it that week. And I had a hard time with Boneworks. I played through it, and it's kind of a puzzle game, but it was really neat how they did the beginning. I told you
it was a puzzle game.
Yeah, it just, I had the impression it was going to have some shooting and other stuff, and I know it does. But
they make it look like a shooter in the trailer.
Yeah, and so you start off, you're going through this museum, and it's talking about the advancement in virtual reality, and it shows like things that we actually use now, like how you move and stuff, and it shows like these robotic legs, and it shows like the teleportation method or the walking method and stuff like that, and it was showing all stuff that we use in the VR. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. They're like in glass cases, you know, and then as you go on, it tells you like how you can interact with different stuff, and it gives you a sledgehammer. And it gives you this glass. It's like a glass case, and there's an item in the case, and it tells you got to break it. You can't just pick the sledgehammer up with like one hand. Like the physics are all kind of funny, and it's kind of like flailing around all over the place. And so you got to like hold it with two hands and steadily hold it, and then you can swing with two hands. But then they had like hammers and stuff like that. You could just pick up and you could break wood. You could like just do different stuff with it, and then it's like, okay, now you know how to use that. We're going to show you how to do a puzzle. And this puzzle was like a multi-layered puzzle. And so you have to walk over to this wall that's on wheels, and you have to grab it. So all you see is kind of like wall, and where you're grabbing it with your hands. And you have to walk to your right, and you drag it over to the right, and it makes it so you can cross the upper level. But you have to actually, you see your body, and you got to kind of look down as you're moving to see kind of like where you're stepping, and you have to jump up on these platforms, and you work your way up some heights. And then when you're up there, you have like different planks and stuff like that occasionally you have to cross. And so you're kind of like looking down as you're moving, and it actually started getting to me a little bit, the emotion of it, and started making me a little bit motion sick with the just trying to get across those planks and just making these jumps across different ledges and stuff like that. And so it made it really difficult in that aspect. So then I started feeling like, I'm starting to get a little nauseous from this, you know, but I kept playing. And then I got like really, really nauseous. And so I decided I needed to stop and step away from it. And I had to go lay down for like a half hour after playing it, like just to get myself to feel okay, because I felt so off. And so after that, I actually had like no desire to play it anymore. So I went ahead and returned it because I had like less than 2 hours in it. And so I'm still sitting on some Steam credit, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to purchase next.
Yeah.
But it definitely, and now I'm concerned about Half-Life Alyx. Like that motion and then just the way I was moving so much, it really got to me.
Yeah.
So now I'm leery. I'm going, okay.
Were you standing up or sitting down?
I was standing up. And it says you can play it in both ways.
I was
because
just trying playing the game sitting down.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it has that movement like Pavlov. You're moving with your analog stick. So it just feels weird, but you see your body in the game. And the way they do the game, it's a little different in the other VR games I've played. And you adjust like the height of your character and it adjusts your body according to that. But it's just weird about like trying to jump over these ledges and walk across like a plank. It's almost like a tightrope. You know, you're walking across this thing and you're looking down and you're a whole floor up. And if you fall off or if you walk crooked with your analog stick, you'll fall off and you'll have to work your way back up again. And there's just a lot of elevation and you know, there's like elevators you have to take it up and go down. And I just didn't really feel like doing a puzzle in VR at that point. Especially if it was going to make me motion sick. So I returned it. And I hear it's really good. And maybe I didn't give enough time. I don't know. But yeah, it was bothering me enough that I was like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this. And since I couldn't Steam share it or nothing like that with you guys, I was just like, I'm just going to return it. And so I went ahead and did that. And that was it for VR for me for a while. I'm like, I'm staying away from that thing, you know, just to not feel nauseous playing it at that point. And then I ended up breaking into my good old favorite game in Dead Cells. So they had that paid DLC that came out, and of course, you know, first time they charged for any DLC, and it was kind of like the last DLCs that they did, but this time they're just charging for it. And a lot of people were saying, like in their Discord and all that stuff, that they wish they would charge for it because nobody has a problem backing them because the content's pretty good. And everybody enjoys it. So it was only $5 for the content, and it adds a couple new biomes. It adds like one major new biome, and it has basically 2 levels and a boss. And it's kind of like a big garden. They did really improve like the graphic quality of the background, like how the lighting, and it's like a multi-layered background where you can kind of see different stuff going on in the background. And
almost like a 2D.
Yeah, almost like a 2.5D, like behind you.
2.5, yeah.
They just added that much more to it. And so playing through, I played it on normal. And since my character is pretty much like, you can, when you beat the game enough times and you collect so many orbs, you can make it so all your weapons are of a higher quality when you initially pick them up. So like right now I'm at like 90% double plus, which means you'll get an extra scroll with that weapon, so it makes you a little stronger on top of the weapon. And then you also get like an extra perk. They'll have 3 perks instead of 2, so it makes my character a lot stronger going through, and it makes it pretty easy, really. So I was able to go through all the new areas. I haven't found any secrets in them yet. All the old areas had a lot of stuff that was hidden and stuff like that, and I haven't come across anything, so I don't know if it has anything like that in there. But I did get all the weapons and stuff that came with the package. So I have these claws that are like, you pick it up and it equips in both slots, and one is a swing, and then if you use the other button, so you use X and Y. So X is one swing, Y is a critical hit then. So like as you alternate it, it makes a critical hit. But they have a big reach, but they're really slow. And so you see benefits against certain characters and stuff like that, but it also makes it harder against some characters that can attack faster, or they can get out of range easy and you get in trouble, like some of the flying enemies and stuff like that make it hard. But it is neat to have some new weapons to play with, and a couple new abilities in that aspect, and some new mutations and stuff. The boss was this plant-based thing, and you kill him and you get a couple skins from him. So try to beat him on the second BC mode, and then you get special skins for that. So continuing to play through it, enjoying the game quite a bit, and looking forward to anything they come out with anymore. It seems like they just have really good stuff when they do come out with their stuff, and I just enjoy it. So that's pretty much what I sink most of my time into. And I would suggest, if you do like the Dead Cells, if you are hesitant on buying the DLC, just to pick it up. It's worth the $5 that you get the weapons and the skins out of it and stuff, and some extra playthrough. On top of that, it gives you some shortcuts so you can access this new content right off the first level, and that enables you to go to the graveyard. And before, you had to go like 4 or 5 levels in to get to the graveyard, which you had to take a special key to for the Land of the Giant, or the Rise of the Giant DLC. And so you can kind of almost make that path a lot faster. So if you haven't done that DLC, it opens it up for that too. And I kind of talked with Brian a couple weeks ago when he was doing that on how to get to that area too, because that has a whole bunch of new maps in it too. So yeah, overall that's pretty much what I've been playing. I probably put 20 or 30 hours in the last 2 weeks of Dead Cells again. So
wow, yeah, definitely a lot of replayability
again
into it. And it seems like such a small game, but then you realize 10 hours later, you're like, holy cow. But it's not something that I haven't played in a long time. I can, my son can play it for hours. But right. I mean, he hasn't touched it in a while either. So, but I'll probably set him up with it here on the Xbox since his laptop's out of commission.
It's neat. There's new enemies you're going to come across too, and there's these one enemies that have like these blowguns, and they can kind of jump through walls, so they kind of run away from you, and then they'll find an angle to like attack you.
Yeah.
With. And so they're kind of annoying. And then there's another enemy that they basically, if there's like a platform above you, they hide inside the platform. They're like ninjas basically, and you don't know they're there until you are underneath them, and then they'll drop down and want to be on each side of you. And they're pretty easy to kill. It's just sometimes you're not prepared. You'll be dealing with these blow dart guys, and you'll be like trying to jump up and get to them guys, and then all of a sudden multiple enemies will start dropping down from the area that you're in. Then you're dealing with those two at the same time. So it makes it interesting in that aspect. But so far I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I pretty much have done all of it, and I'm still trying to beat it on the 2 BC mode. I don't know. I can't figure it out. I pretty much have it to where my character is about as strong as he can get, and that game is still so hard because you can't recharge your health. And so typical Dead Cells, when you get past a boss, you can refill your health vial. Right. And this mode at 2 BC, from there on, you don't get to recharge that. And so you have to go through the whole entire game with the same health bar. And when you use it that one time, there is no replenishment. And so unless you can find it in a shop, it is really hard.
Yeah.
And then the game's on a higher difficulty. So if you get hit by some fluke, like easy character, like the little zombie at the beginning, the one that just jumps at you, it takes like half of your health away. Like if you cannot get hit by something like that, or it's just, you might as well just start your run over. So I find myself starting over a lot of it and trying to beat through it. But once I get past the first couple of bosses, it gets to the point where I just don't have enough health, because I lose health against the bosses and I don't get a chance to recover it. So you almost have to go through the levels without getting hurt, and you can only lose health against the bosses.
Yeah, that
hard stuff though.
Yeah, you can make it tough in that game for sure.
But I'm determined to get through it. And
nice.
that's pretty much been it for me. Besides that, I've just been busy with some other stuff. But what about you, Gunny? What have you been playing?
Oh boy, wow. So, nothing too exciting here. Just I fired up a Game Pass game, a new Game Pass game, Train Snore Simulator 2020. Hey, I remember you played this game. Was this the game that you bought that you said, "Oh, fuck this," after one day, and then you returned it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank God for Game Pass. I don't have to pay for it, just my subscription to Game Pass. But yeah, it just it was bad though. I mean, as far as I look at this in the mindset and I think, okay, is it like a true train simulator or even close? I don't even think it holds a candle to anything. Even if anybody's into trains, I don't think you would really like this game.
Why?
I think because when it kind of gives you the tutorial's not terrible. I'll say that. Like it's like walk over here, walk into the train. Okay, now you're just, and it kind of gives you a basic like, okay, we're going to teach you how to like, accelerate the train, and just the way that it does that, like you can look down and go from neutral to third gear or whatever, and then like for example, it'll show your speed, but I feel like it's showing it on your screen, but then it's on the train display as well. But it's like, okay, do I really need it on my screen all the time? Can you just make a better display on the freaking, inside the train itself?
Gunny, it's like a real train, Gunny. Maybe in the real trains you cannot tell the speed you're going.
I just want it like on an actual display. I don't know. It just maybe because of the graphics suck too. They were bad. They were
simulators. I have one of these, Gunny. Let me see which one I have. I bought one on Steam. I have Train Simulator 2020, Gunny. Is this the one?
This is the one.
No, it can't be. It looks way better on PC. It looks fun.
Oh, I'm sure it does. And you figure I'm playing on an X on a Sony OLED TV, right? So it should look, as good.
It was actually pretty. I'm going to install it right now.
Well, I didn't check to see what the specs were as far as like on the store, because some things it'll show HDR, 4K, enhanced. It'll check all the boxes off, but I actually just went ahead and hit the download button and went from there.
What do you think of this, Mayo? Have you played Train Simulator 2020?
No, I have not. It sounds pretty exciting.
No, but I knew it was going to be bad when it said, "Hey, look, explore different areas, explore different trains." As far as like, again, I'm not the train simulator type guy, but it was like, hey, you can haul passengers around or do freight or long rail or what have you.
Let me ask you this, Gunny. So when it comes to you sitting down at the computer and you have to make this difficult choice to play Train Simulator or that cooking simulator you played a couple of weeks ago, which one is it?
Oh, God, I'd say cooking simulator for sure.
No.
But again, I want that to be co-op. I want it for 3-player maybe. I'm going 3 just because it's a small kitchen.
This thing has 1,240 achievements on Steam.
Jeez.
Wow.
There's probably, I saw a little bit of DLC for it, actually, and it wanted to download it on my Xbox, and I was like, fuck no. Get it off my Xbox right now.
Yeah, it looks... I'm installing it right now, Gunny, but I'm installing the PC version.
So check this out.
I'll let you
know.
know.
I'm like, all right, so maybe I'll get to check out different areas, and it'll add like some level of difficulty of how I'm going to stop the train in time and not crash and explode. No, but this game's nothing like that. But the tutorial was a big help. Like it teaches you all that stuff. But then it's like, okay, what do you want to do now? You want to move on to the next area? Go do something else? And then I'm like, yeah, let's go do something else, right? And then it's like, oh, you know what you can do in this game? And it's like going through this like little, somewhat of what they call a cutscene. You can put up billboards and repair fences. I knew right then and there, I was like, okay, as soon as this cutscene's over, I am uninstalling. And that's exactly what I did. Why the hell would I want to repair a fence? I'm playing a train simulator.
Well, what if you're driving a train to the countryside and there's cows and you got to build a fence to keep the cows on their side of the track?
What if I want blood gore as an option when I hit the cow? That's what I want. What if there's a zombie outbreak, right? And they get through the fence?
I don't know.
How many zombies?
Well, then you have to get the game on PC and mod it.
Oh, true. Right.
There's probably
just like
a mod
2
out there
Point
for
Hospital
it.
of like how I want to put, Marvel character heads on people.
You guys maybe want to play
of Wallace
2
and
Point
Gromit.
Hospital.
Dude,
And
2 Point Hospital is actually a lot of fun. Like people are gonna tell you, oh, don't play it. It's a stupid simulator game. But if you want something that's like kind of funny, like the diseases are pretty funny. Like I said, like the one is called Panhead or Pandemic is what they call it. But the disease is called Pandemia or something like that. But it's like you have a pan stuck on your head and you use a magnet to pull it off. Then they got lightheadedness, where it's like you're a light bulb and your head's a light bulb and you gotta unscrew it and then screw a regular head on you. And they got another one called like being the clown, and like they dehumorize you. They put you in a dehumorizer, so you can take the humor out of you or whatever. There's ghosts. Like if people die in your hospital, which can happen. It happened to me a few times. They become ghosts in your hospital and they start haunting the hospital. But if your janitors are trained, which they should be, because I have all mine trained, but you can train your janitors to have like the Ghostbuster skill kind of. So they suck them up in like these vacuums, and they're like, "Your hospital's good now."
It's a great kids game. Yeah, I maybe I didn't like how it first started out, where it's like, "Oh, you cured somebody of chronic irritability," and because they had a shitty look on their face, and now they're smiling, and I thought, okay, too goofy for me. Too goofy.
No, it gets kind of like,
it's quirky.
Later on, it gets harder though, Gunny. Like they do like at points tell you like, "Hey, there's a hospital in this other county that cannot take in like 10 patients that have this one thing. Are you willing to take him? If you are, you get like a bonus in money and patience and reputation. But we're going to send you like 15 patients with the same thing at once." So you can put yes, and then all of a sudden like there's 15 clowns showing up to like be dehumorized or whatever. So you got to fucking have enough like
Can I get a bunch of people that show up that got chronic diarrhea, and I got to hire like 10 janitors to come in and clean up all the blood and the gore?
You don't need to have
mess.
Like, the thing about people puking and people having shit like that is, if there's people puking, Gunny, the best thing to have in your hospital is trash cans, because they'll puke in the trash cans. Unless if the trash can is full, then they won't puke in it. But if it's not full, they'll puke in it.
Yeah, because I want them coming in with just just like chronic alcoholics, right? I don't know, just thinking like, something. Yeah, I probably want this modded for sure.
It's a fun little game though for free on Game Pass. It's a lot of fucking fun.
I thought it was kind of funny when I did listen to you guys talk about that like 2 weeks ago, when it came out on Game Pass. This game I actually picked up like last summer on the Steam sale, and our friend Ryan Gibb 877 wanted me to pick it up, and I picked it up and I never touched it, and it's just sat in my Steam library forever. So it's just kind of funny that like it comes to Game Pass and you guys start talking about it. So I was like, I want to check this game out. And I knew I had it in Steam. So I know our Steam sharing hasn't been working right here. Again, we need to redo that, but you do have an option to play it on Steam off my account, and maybe there's some mods and stuff we can get into.
Yeah, we redid ours recently, didn't we, Mayo? So I should be good to go to check the workshop on it.
Yeah. So if not, let me know. We'll get it fixed again.
All right.
But besides Train Snore Simulator, a little more Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I played with Johnny Don't, and what do we play with? We were playing something earlier with me, him, and Pinpoint Red. I don't know. It could have been Sea of Thieves or something. But yeah, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I had to play at least a couple hours of that every Sunday or Monday.
Why?
It just scratches that itch. I don't know, of just like that co-op shooter game. So, and I think the game, again, just the game is fine. It's just, it is what it is, and I'm enjoying it. But it's not something I'm going to play on a daily basis. Yeah, it's just it's a good co-op game.
Okay.
So yeah, nothing new about it. I know updates are coming to it, but again, get new weapons and different names and higher stats, but it's the same game.
Are you gonna get
picking it up every once in a while?
Are either of you gonna get the Division 2 Kings of New York or whatever?
I bought it today.
PC?
I bought it on Xbox. Look, Jesus! I was talking to Break about this. I was talking to Break about this, and I think for now, he was talking about. I told him I need a different monitor. Something a little more colorful with better lighting. Like you have the same exact monitor, so I do want to get a better monitor, and I probably need something. I need to talk to Mayo about too. Is I've talked about this before with my PC where things get a little pixelated, but not all the time. I don't know, and it just
on dark screens or bright screens.
Yeah, dark screens it gets all pixelated, but not terrible. And I don't know if I don't think it's the graphics card. It could be the monitor. I don't know. I changed the monitor today, and I went back and put my my 144 hertz or whatever monitor, and I was like, no, I still get the same thing.
Are you going through your game options and changing the resolution? Because if you're playing on a bigger monitor and you're at 1080p, because sometimes games will launch naturally at 1080p,
like we're different,
it's going to look more
Yeah.
pixelated because you're on a bigger screen at 1080, and it's designed for 1440, so it's going to look a lot better at 1440. So maybe that's what it is. I have had games in my past, I know, where I'll get it and I'll install it, and right off the install, I go to the options screen and the game's at like 1080p. I've even had games at like 720p. You like pick up an older game and it just doesn't have the support for the 1440 at that point, or it has it in there, but it will not go to it naturally. Kind of like also like, some games you install it, it'll automatically be in a windowed mode, and you got to make it full screen and stuff like that. But that's always like the first thing I do is I just go to the options and I check to make sure everything's, on ultra and all that kind of fun stuff. But I also make sure it's at the right resolution and stuff because I have had it be wrong before.
Yeah, and I noticed that especially when I switched back to the other monitor, which is actually a wider monitor. And yeah, I do check and make sure like my G-Sync is on, that I do put it in, that it is in 1440p, that's enabled. Yeah, so I do go through those settings to make sure that's all good. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure
I think ultimately, like I was fine playing the Division 2 on PC, especially in 144, and I had that option for 165 hertz, which even made it look even more like, like the sharpness and detail was just amazing.
Yeah, I had a round actually. One night I was kind of bored and trying to figure out what to play, and I jumped on with the Ghost Nico and Drax, and he was having a hard time playing Division 2 on his PC. It would just crash every time, and so he fired it up, and I fired it up. I haven't played it for quite a while on the PC, and we got into a session, and we made our way through. They were lower level, and I still had my character, and so we were playing through it. And then Drax had lost connection, and he had to go anyways. So the game had crashed on him, and he was getting ready to call it a night. So I'm like, okay. So Nico and I, we continued on. We was going to finish this mission. When we got to the mission, and I can't remember what it was. You're in a room, and there's like a minigun almost kind of on this balcony ledge, and you have to like destroy this door to help get out, and you got to fight the waves off. So I'm like, go ahead, Nico. I'll fight the guys off. You use the minigun. You take the door out. And for some reason, I don't know what happened in that game. As soon as he got on the minigun in my online game, my frame rate dropped. It went from like 100 frames down to like 25 frames, and then it just stayed there, and the game would not come back out of it. And so we finished a level, and I tried getting through, and it was almost like at times like a slideshow. Like it would drop, but it would never go past like 27. And I haven't launched it since, and I think it was just some kind of weird hiccup, like something wasn't working correctly. But I want to get back into it, and it was funny when I jumped back into it because I had lost track of what I've been doing, and with that character, I haven't played it for so long. But the shooting still feels really good, and it's satisfying. That cover shooter, the mechanic that they have, I've been so out of touch with it. I haven't played it for so long that I forgot completely what I was doing when I was playing. And there's like a special build I had going on at the time when I stopped. It was like a fire build that boosts your damage on things that are on fire and stuff like that. So I kind of really need to set my character, but maybe I should get that DLC and pick it up. Are you thinking about getting it, Jesus?
That King of New York DLC?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really enjoyed my time with the Division 2 when I did play it. I think it would be cool to check it out, but at the same time, I don't know. If people aren't playing it, then I don't want to. I don't want to play it myself.
I
fear that games are going to start coming out here really soon, too, some new stuff.
Yeah.
And it's going to pull me away from it.
That's the problem, too, because pretty soon we got Doom and shit coming out. Like, the games are coming out fairly soon.
And we got, Ori, the new Ori coming out this week in a couple of days, like 4 days from now. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and I'll probably, to finish this up, so yeah, I went ahead and downloaded it, and I fired it up twice. I don't know how to activate the New York missions. I don't know, and I haven't researched it yet. And again, it keeps crashing on my Xbox One X. I noticed. Like I'll log in and it just like it did a hard crash on me once. Yeah, and I think if I just leave it alone too, it'll just freeze up and crash. But either way, I'll figure it out.
Half-Life Alyx comes out March 23rd.
Yeah, it's coming real soon too.
Oh my god. That's the day I start my new job.
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
Calling sick. First day.
Guys, I can't make it in. Half-Life Alyx is out this week.
Right. This is Half-Life Alyx Day. I can't come into work.
The great excuse, right? To not show up to work. Hey guys.
Don't ask if you could do your class training in VR, and then you just be playing Half-Life Alyx.
Just playing Half-Life Alyx the whole time. Oh shit. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the list of games coming out this month. We have
Ori,
Half-Life Alyx, right? Ori.
Yeah.
Not just that, Animal Crossing coming out for the Switch. MLB The Show coming out for PS4. And a bunch of other games. Bleeding Edge comes out for the Xbox One and PC.
Yeah, I didn't play that beta.
Did you try the beta, Jesus?
No.
For Bleeding Edge?
I didn't get a chance to.
I dabbled in it and I didn't care for it. I mean,
everything.
I think there's
shitty.
Yeah, I think there's a group of people for that game. It just wasn't me. I'm not an Overwatch fan. I think if you're an Overwatch fan, that you might have an interest in this game.
Right.
Overwatch fans are Overwatch fans, Mayo.
Right. And so
yeah, that's
I'm
all
saying they might have an interest because it's that team-based fighting and stuff like that.
Overwatch fans are Overwatch fans. This game is gonna die, I think.
Yeah.
The thing it has going for it right now is that it's coming out on Game Pass, so that'll keep it alive for a little bit longer, but we'll see what they do with it. But yeah, then in April, we got Final Fantasy VII Remake, which the demo's already out, which I haven't downloaded yet, but I should.
Is it the demo or is it the beta?
Demo, Gunny. It's on the PS4.
Oh, okay. So
exclusive.
Yeah, then I'll have my kid download it then. He ran out of room. He's been playing a lot of games on there on the PS4.
That's one thing I have a problem too on my PS4. I run out of room. I have to delete shit and reinstall shit.
Yeah, I think he's playing Outlast 2 right now, so.
Deliver Us to the Moon is finally coming to the consoles on April 24th. Predator Hunting Ground coming out April 24th as well for PS4, Gunny.
Yeah, it's on X. No, different game.
No, Predator Hunting Grounds is exclusive to PS4.
I'm thinking Terminator Resistance. I don't know why I get those two confused.
Gears Tactics is finally coming out next month as well, April 28th for PC and Xbox One, which is weird. But yeah, lots of good games coming out, dude. And then The Last of Us 2 on May.
Yeah. It's going to be a big hit.
You better buy that game, Gunny. You better play the first one before then, Gunny. Have you played the first one?
I played half of the first one.
Gunny.
I never finished
it.
The
remastered one. Play it, Gunny.
I probably have it from PS Plus or from Jonathan's account.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, moving on. Is that all we have for where you've been playing?
Yeah,
Gunny?
that's everything for now.
So, that means
Bubbles crap.
It's news time. Let's get into the world of news. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may know or may not know, coronavirus is spreading, Gunny. It's spreading.
It's everywhere. Every time I turn on the news, it's like getting closer. Like, I think ground zero is where I live.
I even hear fear of it being in Ohio. And nothing comes to Ohio. So.
It's getting closer. I think it's in Idaho. It's moving your way.
I'm looking at coronavirus updates right now. Italy is now in lockdown for much of its northern part, as Europe is now expecting the worst outbreak in a long time of this COVID-19 virus, Gunny.
My stove came in, by the way, Friday. My butane stove.
They're saying that they're facing a national emergency. Oh my God, Gunny. Oh my God. They say that now that they have their national emergency. They say that they're pretty much they're going to put a bunch of cities into quarantine For example, bum, 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 the capital of
Fairfield?
Milan and Venice will go into a quarantine red zone that will go on till April 3rd. This will prevent the free movement of around roughly 16 million people. No tourists will be allowed into the area at the time of the quarantines. Also, all funerals and cultural events will be banned under these measures. This decree requires a distance of 1 meter. This includes in sporting events, bars, and supermarkets. So you got to be at least 1 meter away from everybody at all times, Gunny. So yeah, the Italian outbreak is already the worst in Europe and the worst outside of Asia. So there you go, Gunny. Dun, dun, dun. So in 1 week, Gunny, Italy's cases doubled. They went from about 2,500 infections on Wednesday to, guess how many today, Gunny? Guess.
From how many, you
From
said?
2,500 on Wednesday, Gunny.
Oh, I think it's at probably 5,000.
5,800 today, Gunny.
Whoa.
5,800. And the World Health Organization says the deaths rose by 36 on Wednesday to 233 by today.
Looking at
Oh my God.
looking at different levels, there are at least, okay, so I'll tell you this, 4 countries that are at a level 3.
Oh,
and Japan is only a level 2. But these are the 4 countries. You've got South Korea, Italy, Iran, and obviously China.
Yeah.
Which is in that level 3. They're probably level 4.
Dude, in Iran, you see that their main, like, their government people have it. they're like giving press conferences, fucking dying. We got under control.
Fuck.
Don't
It's just
panic.
it's surreal. It obviously is just so surreal. Like every time I just turn on Twitter and I saw like the Salesforce, which is this huge fucking building they just built in San Francisco, and it's like, and it's just like you're just gonna see papers flying around Monday morning. You know, one homeless person just walking by. You know, you might see a taxi cab. It's just the most surreal thing ever. He's just like, nobody coming to work ever, you know, for at least the next month. It's crazy. It is. It's just surreal to just see this thing unfold.
But it's not just the coronavirus that's making people, it's racism and a lot of the stuff that comes along with the coronavirus that is affecting the countries as well. In Spain, right now, there's about 470 people that have the virus, guys. And there's been reported 10 fatalities since today on Saturday. They've canceled some marathons in Spain now and some big events. As well as now the smallest European Union nation, Malta, reported their first case of the coronavirus when a 12-year-old girl returned from a vacation from northern Italy. And her condition was described as good, though. Police in London said they arrested a few teenagers in connection with the racially aggravated assault days after a 23-year-old student from Singapore said he was attacked by a group of men, one of them who shouted, "I don't want your coronavirus in my country."
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And then as well as New York City and New York State now has confirmed cases to confirm up to 89 cases in New York State, and they're not declaring a state of emergency, Gunny.
This thing is moving like wildfire.
In the United States, is going to. They say like,
Yeah.
the problem with the U.S., we're too friendly with. We're very friendly, like as like a, what do you call it, society. You know, we like tend to shake people's hands and like get close to people and like shake their hands and fucking hold
Right,
doors
unlike
open.
other countries, yeah, we're
Unlike
very,
other countries, people just ignore each other. We tend to be
Well, I
very
was just
fucking friendly, and that's the problem. You know, we spread.
thinking about the other
diseases.
day, something you don't hear about is I was doing something and I paid cash, and I had like a whole bunch of just cash in my wallet in general, but it was like I was kind of separating it a little bit, and I'm like, I wonder how many other people have touched this. I wonder if anybody's had coronas and
Yeah.
you know, touches cash. Like how much cash goes around at times, you know, a couple dollars here, $5 there, you know, and so I could see maybe that cash could travel, you know, and so it could, if somebody had corona that had money and paid for something, and then that money got sent somewhere through a bank, you know, and it could get deposited somewhere else. And so I could see how it could move that way too. And you don't hear much about that, but
Well, now that's the new thing I've been hearing on the news is they're calling it what are they calling it? The money flu or something like that?
Yeah, I saw that starting yesterday.
That's what they called it in the Division video game.
Yes, Division 2. We're in New York. I'll be playing COVID-19 DLC tomorrow night,
So,
hopefully.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad cases, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take it lightly. I know a lot of you are thinking it's a joke. In reality, it's not, because it causes a lot of fear that is not necessarily warranted. And like I said, it causes racism and attacks on people that are from a certain nationality, or you think they're from a certain nationality based on their looks, but they're really not.
Right.
So don't fuck around, Don't do something stupid. Speaking of the coronavirus, though, Gunny. Speaking of the coronavirus. AMD is now discussing the impact of the coronavirus on its supply chain and its customers.
Ouch.
Dun, dun, dun. Today, last Thursday, AMD hosted its Financial Analyst Day 2020, and Chief Executive Officer Lisa Su discussed the effect of the new coronavirus on its supply chain and those of its customers. Su mentioned that AMD's own supply chain is back to near normal capacity. On the other hand, while there have been disruptions in the supply chains of AMD's customers, Su mentioned that there is a lot of progress being made. As she said, for an overall supply chain standpoint, our supply chain is mainly focused in China, Malaysia, and Taiwan. I would like to say it's very robust supply chain, so we have taken a number of actions to ensure that we have a continuity in that supply chain. And based on what we see today, we're actually back to near normal supply capacity in our supply chains. That's something we continue to be very focused on. We're also monitoring our customers, and a lot of our customers have supply chains that are very dependent on China. We did see some disruptions that have gone through Chinese New Year and the month of February. There's a lot of progress being made, though. I would like to say all of us in the ecosystem are trying to return to those operations to as normal as possible, and we expect that to continue over the next coming weeks. So, with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X coming in at the end of the year, many have been speculating whether or not the new coronavirus outbreak can cause delays. AMD manufactures the main components for both of the new consoles, so insight on their own supply chain and on the supply chain of their customers, which include both Microsoft and Sony, is certainly valuable. Incidentally, during the presentation, one of the slides mentioned that the next generation is on track for the holiday of 2020. So there you go. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, just thinking about how, a lot of things come in from all these Asian countries, South Korea, Taiwan. They boat things in, they fly things in. Yeah, and just, and some of it a lot of it just starts in China, like some of the parts, and then it may have to go to Malaysia or South Korea or Taiwan or wherever it might have to go. And so I don't think we're seeing the full impact probably, at least for several months.
We'll see. I personally also think, though, that with the end of the winter here shortly for a lot of us in the United States, coming in next month, April and May is when the weather starts heating up again. I'm hoping that helps with that coronavirus bullshit and helps kill it.
Yeah,
off.
because I guess it's just, it likes that colder weather.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I hope that it fucking kills it off.
Yeah, I mean, there is that small fear, even myself, where I think, just reading that one article from the Salesforce guy, or even listening from a doctor going, yeah, where everybody's kind of doing this thing. They're talking about the 2-week thing, right? Like everybody's kind of isolating. I think it said it officially kind of started Friday for the U.S. alone, where I feel like just, hey, we're on vacation for 2 weeks, basically, in some capacity. To help stop the spread. And I hope it is just 2 or 3 weeks. I really do that it, we can kind of calm some of the fears and also, slow down the spread of the COVID-19.
But we'll see. I mean, what do you think, Mayo? I mean, personally, I think if it came down to it, though, guys, that if, let's say, like it came down to where, they had to pay up money to get their console made first. Or made faster or whatever. I think Microsoft would pay it. I don't think Sony would.
That's a good question.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. I think Sony would be like, fuck it, we're ahead right now on the console generation. Like, we're still selling more PS4s than Xboxes. Let's just keep selling the PS4 Pro till next year, and fuck it, if we're going to have to delay our console by a few months, then so be it.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, it would affect them greatly, I think. If they delaying their competition launch a few months early, it would be a fucking huge hit, but when it comes down to money, I think Microsoft has the money. I don't know if Sony does to be able to pay that type of fucking money to be like, yeah, go ahead and do it. You know, like what?
Right. And I can also just see that phone call going out from Foxconn or whoever it might be, or even where else? I mean, they probably make them. Somebody said they make their Xboxes in Colombia or I don't know, one of those South American countries. But I could just see that phone call going out, going, well, we've got the new iPhone, but we also want to make your next console. You know, do you want to fast track some of these boxes? You know, they might actually pay up. You know, to yeah. I mean, because that's the last thing you want. Just thinking from like now we're talking about gaming here. From Phil Spencer going, well, shit, I don't want to come out at E3 if you know. And just say, yeah, man, you know, go for the Xbox Series X, and then not have that, you know, supply, you know, enough.
We'll see. Apparently, the manufacturer of the Xbox One is Flextronics and Foxconn, both in China.
Yeah.
The Xbox One, the very first one, Gunny, the original OG, was actually made in Guadalajara, Mexico.
Orale, that's where they make the discs over there for Xbox.
Yeah. Well, they used to, and then they switched it over to China.
Cheaper.
Fucking China. Taking over our damn jobs, Gunny. The fuck?
Hey, you got to go where the money is, man. Look at Walmart. You go in there, everything's made there.
Pay people $3.
Do we want cheaper goods or not? That's the question.
That's the question, right? Yeah, I guess. Anyways, moving on to more news.
Wash your hands, people. Wash your hands.
Yes, wash your hands. Go buy soap. Wash your fucking hands. Even go to Dollar Tree and buy soap. I don't care where you buy the soap. Just buy fucking soap. And wash your hands. Anyways, there's a Twitch streamer who has now been suspended after accidentally firing his real gun at his monitor.
I saw that video.
That's right. So, a professional Call of Duty streamer who brandished a gun on stream and accidentally fired a round into his desk has now been suspended from Twitch and dropped from his esports organization. So last night, this happened a few days ago, so this happened on Thursday. So Wednesday night, during a live stream from inside his home, Call of Duty trick shot specialist and former FaZe Clan member Carl Ramier pulled out a pistol. He said, quote, "Bitch, say I ain't got no money," he jokingly said while holding it, and an open can of Coors Light beer was visible on his desk during the clip. Ramier then pulled the trigger, and to his apparent surprise, the weapon discharged a round, and he has now been suspended from Twitch. The round did not harm anyone, but it did perforate a nearby container of G Fuel, a powder energy formula marketed to gamers. And goddamn, Raymer said immediately afterward, "What the fuck? I swear to God, I just emptied the mag." And today, Twitch suspended Raymer's channel, and the esports organization he was a part of, Soar Gaming, dropped him. They said, quote, "We do not condone the actions on livestream by Carl last night, and he has been removed from the Soar Gaming roster effective immediately." In separate videos on Twitter and YouTube, Raymer addressed the situation. He said, "I made the biggest mistake of my entire life last night, and it could ruin my life. I could have hurt somebody. I could have hurt myself. I could have hurt one of my animals, and that's unforgivable. I've had that gun for 2 years, and all it takes is 2 seconds of stupid to ruin everything, to ruin somebody else, to ruin yourself. Don't do what I did." And then on YouTube, he said that he was clearly intoxicated when it happened. And then he then proceeded to show viewers a metal cup he said the round passed through en route to a monitor onto the desk that was next to him, which he said was also broken as a result. He went on to say he wasn't sure how long his Twitch suspension will last yet. But if it's permanent, his bank account is going to be hurting. And he has over 800,000 YouTube subscribers. He said he stopped making enough from YouTube to pay the bills a long time ago. And he also thanks Soar for doing what they needed to do and dropping him, and apologized profusely. He said, I just made such a stupid mistake. All I can say is I'm sorry, and I deserve every bit of backlash. So, that's what he...
I think it's a pretty sincere apology. Second thing is, wait a minute, Jesus. I'm thinking back to last week here. You were in that Call of Duty competition. Weren't you fighting the FaZe clan?
Was it this guy? This fucking guy?
Was it this guy? Was it the same motherfucker? Right?
I think he probably just shouted out of rage. He was probably playing Jesus, and he was so mad. He was just like,
see, that's what I'm thinking. It all ties in.
Yeah.
It is awfully convenient.
I don't know. but yeah, he's banned now. That sucks.
Just for a short time, right? I mean, he'll come back, hopefully without that gun in his hand like a idiot.
Yeah. So let me bring another story to you from Kotaku, Gunny. From Kotaku. This is a special news. So the man behind Pets.com bought the Nintendo PlayStation console for $360,000 yesterday. That weird prototype Nintendo PlayStation console was sold at an auction for $360,000. Today, thanks to Forbes, we now know who bought it and why they bought it and what they plan to do with it. So Greg McLemore is the founder of Pets.com, a website from back in the early 90s. Amazon bought up half of the website, and then it and other sites of that era went out of business in the early 2000s. But McLemore made a good chunk of cash on Pets.com and other websites and is now rather wealthy, and he is using his money to buy up old video game consoles, machines, games, and other bits of gaming history. So, the Nintendo PlayStation prototype console is just the latest piece of gaming history McLemore has purchased. He tells Forbes that he plans to create a museum featuring his vast collection of video game consoles and arcade machines. The Nintendo PlayStation console was found back in 2015 in the attic of Terry Diebold, and he had bought it at an auction for $75, not realizing what it was, and stored it in his attic. His son then found it, posted an image of it on Reddit, and quickly found themselves in possession of one of the weirdest and coolest bits of video game hardware in the world. Terry Diebold and his son claimed that someone even offered them $1.2 million for the console at one point. Well, you guys fucked up. You should have sold it then.
Yeah. Instead of trying to auction it off for less than a third of it.
Yeah, they got a third of that now. So McLemore told Forbes that at one point he even offered the Diebolds $100,000 for the prototype machine. While they didn't sell the console for over $1 million, getting over $300,000 on a $75 purchase isn't too bad. So yeah, this is apparently this is the prototype that Nintendo and PlayStation made when they announced that they were going to work together on a disc-based console thing. So yeah, enough.
And that was when that's when Sony went out and said, "Fine, we'll just go out and make a PlayStation."
Oh, fuck you. I don't need you.
Call it the PlayStation, bitch.
But it's crazy because it says Sony PlayStation on the controller, but it's clearly like a Nintendo controller. And it has a disc drive, but it also has the cartridge slot on top. It looks weird. If you look at this picture, it looks fucking crazy.
I haven't seen it in so long, I don't have the article up.
No, it looks
it's been a long time since I've seen it.
It looks wild.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, it's been years since I've seen it.
Let me send you guys the link real quick to this motherfucking shit. Yeah, it's pretty badass looking. It's all yellowed out and shit because it's so old, but it's wild.
Yeah, almost reminds me of the. Gosh, I'm trying to think of what it is now. It's the. Is it Panasonic that made something similar, but similar?
Yeah, I think, or Philips. Didn't Philips do something with Nintendo and they make something similar?
Yeah, but I like the Philips one a little better. Yeah, definitely looks like a DVD player. Sony controller, or Nintendo controller. Yep.
Moving on
Yeah, I
now.
should have taken that mill.
Yeah, they should have. I would have. What the fuck were you thinking, dude? $1 million for something you paid $75 for, Gunny?
Yeah.
That's like so much in return.
I would have, yeah, because definitely I would have been like, okay, so you want a mill 25 or whatever. I would have, yeah, there's no way I would have sold this for 360,000. No way.
No way, dude. But whatever. You must have needed the money or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on now. The latest from NVIDIA GeForce Now, ladies and gentlemen. Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, and Hinterland Games have already pulled their titles from the service. But now NVIDIA confirms that also 2K Games is out. So, per the publisher's request, please be advised 2K game titles will be removed from GeForce Now today. 2K Games, Gunny, that means Borderlands.
Yeah, I read that article today and I thought, okay, well, I wasn't sure if it was even newsworthy as far as like what the reason was. I didn't see any.
But they're losing people left and right, I think, to it seems. I've seen multiple articles. Isn't it something to do? I haven't read the articles myself, actually, but isn't it something to do with that NVIDIA didn't ask permission from these developers and companies to put their stuff on there? And so they just kind of added, because all you're doing is you're linking like your Steam library and your libraries that you own already, and it enables you to stream them. But I don't think they got permissions from the actual developers and publishers.
Okay, but here's my thing. Aren't we in a time right now where don't you want your game getting the most exposure? I know that Bethesda is not in that camp, but I thought everybody else was.
Yeah. But, too, is it's already in your library. So
yeah. But then I got to remember 2K is part of, a larger company that is a little weird, especially with, isn't Rockstar part of that? Whoever that developer I'm thinking of.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I just thought, I don't know. I just don't understand that, why they would even tell them or make them take it down. It's bizarre.
It's fucking.
They probably want some licensing money. They probably want, if you're going to put our product on your store type thing. Even though GeForce Now is just a streaming service, and you just connect your existing accounts to it, and it streams. So we connect our Steam account to it.
That's the thing.
And
I guess
so they're making money off of games that we own on other platforms, but we're using their platform, And so I guess that developer wants, them to ask permission, and maybe a little bit of royalties out of it or something. I don't know.
Sure. That makes sense. Throw something their way, So if you don't set something up with them initially, then.
Man, I think about this gaming streaming in general, how it's been a rough start in general. You hear Stadia, and its struggles, and then NVIDIA comes out with some streaming technology, and they've been doing this for a while. They've been working on it for a while, and they're struggling with stuff.
Let me ask you, Mayo, really quick. What we see Google Stadia, and it's it's DOA. Everybody's saying all this stuff, and we know there's like this the Founders Edition, where it's just the people that who bought into that. Why are we not seeing Google Stadia opened up to everyone to play on everything yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
When is that coming? Like, why are they taking so long? Is it just, are they still beta testing it with people who paid money? Paid beta testers?
It's weird how quiet it is too. You just don't hear anything about it. It's so, every once in a while I'll come across a news article saying, oh, there might be a game coming out or in development. I did hear something about there's some new game, like Studio or something like that. That they was going to try to make a game, but
I mean, are they just going to be? Are they just being very patient and methodical as far as like, fuck it, we'll just keep it like paid beta testers until we get our first game studio or something? I don't know.
Is that Google's MO though? I mean, Google usually is, I don't know, I would say full bore, but I don't see them being real patient. I feel like they kind of rushed this out already. They kind of came out with it, and within a year, it was already hitting the public, and
Yeah, maybe
and then
maybe
it
this
died, and you
time
don't hear anything
around they're not going. Let's just not just throw it to the wild. And everybody can play it on their iPads and their PCs and their phones, and because that would just
so
make us look bad. I don't know, or it would
hopefully,
be the way.
hopefully they know it's a good idea, and in theory, if they can get it to work, so maybe they're trying to fine tune it and improve it before they
Test, Gunny. It's a test, Gunny. Fucking
Yeah.
Stadia's coming, motherfucker. Let's talk about Stadia. Stadia news.
Give it to me now. I want it.
Jesus got all the Stadia news for you, ladies and gentlemen. So let's start with Google is now opening a new studio to make Stadia games.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen that.
Yeah, the blog post from Stadia head of games, Jade Raymond. The company is now opening up a new studio dedicated to developing content for the streaming console. The new office is located in Playa Vista, California. This will be led by Shannon Studstill, the former head of Sony Santa Monica, the studio famous for the God of War games. Studstill's new job may not be easy. Google's theoretically already at work on some games at its studio in Montreal. But until those titles see the light of day, the selection of third-party releases on the platform is pretty slim. As Business Insider reported last weekend, Stadia simply isn't pulling in indies because Google isn't offering the type of incentives in terms of money or promotion needed to pull developers away from other platforms. Plus, many devs simply do not trust Google to stick with games long term. So, until Google proves themselves and maybe start spending more on courting developers, the company's in-house studios will be facing a lot of pressure to produce good content. What do you think of this, guys? Santa Monica, former head, God of War developer. What do we...
But even if they start, say they develop something, how long is that going to take? And is that going to be too late?
2 years.
Is 2 years too late? I mean,
maybe.
if we're in the same pace that we are now,
God of War is good.
Nobody talked about Stadia. So, if the year goes by and nobody's talking about Stadia, then this can be forgotten.
Let's talk about Google. Google again is starting to roll out its 4K Stadia gaming on the web, Gunny. Google last month started fulfilling its Q1 2020 roadmap by rolling out its streaming service to Samsung, Asus, and Razer phones. Up next is 4K gaming for Stadia on the web, with that functionality beginning to appear for users this very evening. This story was written on March 5th. Before this launch, 4K gameplay was limited to Chromecast Ultra and televisions. Besides noticing the visual improvements over 1080p on computers, you can confirm by opening the in-game menu, Shift plus Tab, or the Stadia button on the controller and clicking Connection. Under data usage status, a mint green 4K will appear. Yeah. An excellent connection is technically required, but we've also hit 4K on good and even okay, along with internet speeds of over 35 megabytes per second. The $9.99 per month Stadia Pro subscription is needed to access the best visual quality option. So there you go. So far, Gunny, the game.
I need it on my iPhone.
The 4K is like Borderlands and shit, and so yeah. Woohoo! Stadia.
Yeah.
Stadia.
Whoa, Stadia. And speaking of Stadia, let's talk about the negatives here. Let's talk about the negatives, Gunny. GeForce Now beats Stadia in the input latency testing. That's right. That's right. So, there you go. So here, so running the game locally will nearly always give you lower input latency. The exception is when you're trying to run something that's way out of your hardware's league. If you're running a game at 5 FPS locally, you're going to see a new frame once every 200 milliseconds versus 16 milliseconds at 60 FPS. So, blah, blah, blah. During the testing, Stadia fucked up, and it was shitty, pretty much.
Wasn't Stadia the one that's supposed to have the...
was it negative?
The predict, yeah, like it's going to predict what you're going to do, so it would like allow for it, and your latency was going to be so good because it knew what you were going to do before you did it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, any interest in that GeForce Now, guys? For you guys, or
no?
Not really for me.
Also, what about Xbox xCloud. I did try to sign up for the iOS thing. I did change it after about 3 days, but I never made it into the group of 10,000 testers.
I'm in the test. I need a controller, though. It doesn't let me play without a fucking controller. Oh, and get this, Gunny. Get this.
You can hook up any controller.
No, my Elite 2 controller does not hook up to the iPhone.
No way.
Nope.
Like I've got my Elite 1 and I've got my Project Scorpio. They both connect to my iPad and my iPhone.
Nope. Doesn't work.
No shit. That's crazy.
Elite Controller 2 is apparently not whitelisted Apple or whatever to fucking work. So it doesn't work.
Huh.
Hey, Jesus, they hooked up my Android just fine.
Yeah, fuck you, Mayo.
Open source, baby.
It's just fucking weird how it doesn't let you do it. So, yeah.
Strange. Okay. Just take your PlayStation 4 controller. That'll work.
Yeah. Speaking of more news, Gunny. More news. E3 has now lost its creative director 3 months before the show.
I wouldn't be surprised after hearing Jeff, what's his name from the Game Awards, the way he was talking about some of the executives over there, but not like naming anybody directly. Pretty much about how much they suck.
So, the ESA is making efforts to turn E3 into something more akin to a festival. And part of that is transforming the whole floor experience, Gunny. Production company IM 8-Bit was recruited as the creative directors in charge of this new E3. But approximately a month after this new partnership was revealed, IM 8-Bit has backed out of the project. On Twitter, IM 8-Bit wrote that it has, quote, decided to resign. Yeah. So, that's fucking weird. It's really weird. Why? I wonder why.
I don't know. He says, with all mixed emotions, decided to resign as creator. What would have been an evolutionary E3 2020 floor experience. We produced hundreds of games plus community events, and it was a dream to be involved with E3. We wish the organizers best of luck. Ouch. I don't know. Money, you think?
Money?
I don't know. It's weird. I had hopes of going this year, actually, a little bit. I took vacation that week, and I even thought possibly I was like, maybe I'll fly out there. But now I'm starting to question whether I would do that because it'd be quite a trip for me. And now it seems like it's going to be a lot smaller than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
But maybe that's better. It would just be less people since Sony won't be there.
We'll see.
I don't know. I'm supposed to be in Hawaii that week.
You picked the worst weeks to travel, Gunny. You were supposed to be covering E3. What the fuck you doing going to Hawaii?
I know. I'm just in Australia.
Last year he was out of state, remember?
Over in Brisbane.
What are you doing? Do you not... every year, Gunny, E3 is the same fucking dates. Do you just like fuck these guys? I'm not doing the podcast that week for 3 days.
You gotta tell the wife. He said this week is blacklisted.
Can we
Say,
not
I can't get it
move the fucking vacation up to fucking 3 weeks after that or a week before? I don't know.
I'm thinking the week before. I should do Hawaii the week before, and then.
Or you should just take back-to-back weeks and then just go on vacation the next week and then take this week off. See,
it's only an 8-hour drive
to Hawaii.
No, down to LA.
Shit.
I mean, or I could just take a flight down there, but I'd have to book it now to get the best price.
So there's a mysterious new Star Wars game, Project Maverick, has surfaced on PlayStation Network. That is right. Looks like a new Star Wars game of some sort. Might be arriving sooner than later, Gunny. An unannounced project similarly called Star Wars Project Maverick has surfaced online thanks to the PlayStation Network. And while details are very sparse, there is a title card for the thing which features at least one definitive image. A Star Destroyer with several X-Wing starfighters flying towards it. So, the title was simply uploaded as Maverick, according to the Twitter account, but it was paired with artwork that reveals a potential new Star Wars game. That artwork features a lone Imperial Star Destroyer and a small fleet of X-Wing starfighters, implying that the project will likely take place around the original Star Wars trilogy era. So, who knows? What are you guys excited? Another Star Wars game?
No, not me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Not the Star Wars
Hopefully
fan.
it's as good as that last one. The fuck was that last one called again? Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Fall asleep.
It was so good. Jesus doesn't
so
remember
good,
the
I don't
name.
know the fucking name of it. Yeah. Well, fuck it. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, I was falling asleep.
Rumor.
Falling Order. Sorry. Go ahead.
The Xbox Series X console, Xbox Series S console, is going to come with just 4 teraflops of GPU performance, Gunny. But this apparently will only cost you $300. A wealth of information about the supposed Xbox Series S console, it's also known as Lockhart, has been published by a Chinese website. According to the site sources, the upcoming next-gen console will be the base model as opposed to the high-end Xbox Series X and its 12 teraflops of power. However, although the rumored cost of $300 is promising, the 4 teraflops of compute performance is seemingly low.
Yeah. So that one's going to be...
The Chinese tech website, My Drivers, has published an article, Gunny. So this was concerning the rumors around the Xbox Series S, and pretty much saying that this is going to be coming in at $300.
Sure.
So this will not have an optical drive, so no disk drive on this. This is similar to the Xbox One S All Digital Edition. What it does apparently have, though, Gunny, 16 gigs of RAM. This will be 12 gigabytes of RAM reserved for the GPU and 4 gigabytes for the OS. Possibly the 4 gigahertz AMD Ryzen APU mentioned above, and GPU compute performance of 4 teraflops. As we already know, the Xbox Series X can boast a mighty 12 teraflops.
I looked up. While you're reading that up, I looked up what the old systems are. So this would fall just under an Xbox One X in power. So that's rated at 6. But there's quite a drop off from the other consoles. Your Xbox One S is only rated at 1.4 teraflops.
Right.
So it's going to be a jump over that. So it to me, it's almost like that bridge between the next gen and it's almost like the top of the current gen. It says the PS4 Pro is rated at 4.2 teraflops. So it's going to be like the same rating as a PS4 Pro. But,
Well, yeah, so I think obviously to the general public, they're just going to see that. No, new console. Right?
I think that's going to be our base model at that point.
But $300 is the perfect
Would you
price.
buy this over the $500 version?
No.
I wouldn't personally, but I can see a lot of people buying it. They're thinking, hey, it's a new box, new games.
It loads quicker. It has an SSD in it, bro.
I would buy an Xbox One X. I mean, it's got 2 more teraflops.
Yeah, the Series
and
X,
you could
right?
probably
That's obvious for...
Yeah, no, I mean the regular X, like the
one out now.
The X now. Yeah, because you can buy that one.
Okay,
it's 6 teraflops. I could buy one of those for probably the same price by that point because people will be getting rid of them or,
Yeah, and just seeing that, like it's currently, like I've seen deals within the last couple of weeks at $299. So man, seeing that Xbox One X at $199 is going to be crazy. Seeing how I paid $499 for this thing.
Xbox One X won't be $199.
You don't think so?
No.
I'm not even a year from now.
No.
I'm thinking $300. It'd be about the price of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be the price of this thing, and yeah.
I don't know. I just think the way Microsoft's going with the fact that they announced the Xbox Series X, right? And at E3, they're going to show this Lockhart device console. So I can just see them having these other SKUs at such even lower prices and just, even the S, just having the regular S.
So
down at $199. Just fuck it. Keep them all down to $200.
Gunny, what does a 12 teraflop GPU mean for the Xbox Series X? And I got an article for you right here, Gunny. A big old nice article for you right there. You know what I'm saying? That's right.
That's what we all want to know.
So, we're looking at the Xbox One Series, or the Xbox Series X with 12 teraflops of performance. So,
you know more about these AMD graphics, don't you? Especially the RTX 2080 Ti.
that's an NVIDIA
10
card.
times as powerful as the base 8th-gen consoles.
That's right. So I know what they're saying is that at present there's no single AMD card that offers gaming performance on par with the Xbox Series X GPU. The closest that we can see right now out in the market is the RX 5700 XT, which delivers about 80% of the Series X powers or graphics power. But you move over to NVIDIA hardware, and the Xbox Series X GPU is faster than the RTX 2070 Super, and it will stand as a midpoint somewhere between the RTX 2080 Super and the RTX 2080 Ti. So this is a big implication all the way around in terms of gaming power, cost, and the Xbox Series X's lifespan. With the 12 teraflop RDNA 2 GPU, it is not evident that Microsoft was not kidding around when it discussed 120 Hz and 8K gaming. The Xbox Series X GPU is more than capable of delivering 4K 60 experiences in today's graphically intensive AAA titles, but it also has headroom to go well beyond, Gunny. Well beyond. Many people have questioned whether or not in-engine footage of Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 was actually indicative of 9th-gen gaming visuals. Polygon counts, especially on incidental details, were far in excess of anything we've seen this generation. Moreover, draw distances stretched out so far that pop-in was almost non-existent in that demo. And if the Xbox Series X features a 12 teraflop RDNA 2 GPU, though this level of visual quality is well within reach, especially if we're talking about 4K 30 FPS experience. So, RDNA 2 features a very high fill rate relative to GCN, which means less of a performance hit when handling scenes with extremely detailed character and environmental models as seen in Hellblade 2 demo. Dun dun dun.
Amazing.
Dun, dun, dun. That's fucking crazy. Like, dude, she looks real in that fucking picture. It was kind of creepy looking.
This is exactly what I want from a next-gen console.
I mean,
right,
so
this is what I'm getting.
We're getting such a powerful system for this next gen. Do you think this next gen is going to last as long as this gen has, or as long as the previous gen before that? Because you look at how long was Xbox 360 around for? It was around for like what, 2006 or 2005 till.
Wasn't it like 7 years?
Well, 2013 before the Xbox One came out, right? And then, so that's how many years is that? 7? How many years has it been since the Xbox One has been out? I think 2013, so 7.
That'll be 7, yeah. 7-year console, right?
7 with like that Xbox One S refresh, and then the Xbox One X refresh, which was a few years ago too. So, do you think we're gonna see like another refresh, like the Xbox Series X, Super X?
Something.
In 5 years?
Yes, I think so. I do think so. I think that they're going to be... I'd have to really think on this because they are going to do something after... Right? Because assuming they're going to be at the E3 2021, yeah, what's Microsoft going to... We're working on the next XX or something, right? That's even more powerful than this box, right? You're always going to have to one-up whatever you've done in the past. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Like, where do they go from there? And even faster SSD, more storage in SSD, and I don't know. It's just There's no stop. There's no stopping Phil Spencer.
This article says here everything we've seen so far points to the Xbox Series X being a premium gaming-oriented console. From the large boxy form factor to the high-end gameplay showcases to the GPU that's faster than anything AMD has on the market at the moment. Unfortunately, what this means is that the Xbox Series X will almost certainly be a premium product in terms of pricing too, Gunny. The RX 5700 XT, a flagship AMD graphics card, delivers 20% less performance than the Xbox Series X GPU. So you got to think about that, Gunny. The highest AMD card you can buy right now, it's 20% less powerful than whatever they're going to put in this console. So
Yeah.
this is like the newest of the newest shit they're putting on this console. But yet its sticker price... What do you say, Mayo?
Oh, I was gonna say this is what they're gonna try to attack NVIDIA with, like something stronger. But they're gonna say they can beat like the 2080 Ti, but NVIDIA has their own release coming right around the corner also. So
yet its sticker price for that GPU, the 5700 XT, is $399. Even factoring in economies of scale and manufacturer discounts, it is hard to see Microsoft's bill of materials for the graphics unit alone come in less than $200 to $250, if not more. Then you throw in the next generation NVMe SSD and an 8-core Zen 2 CPU that's more or less on par with today's $329 Ryzen 7 3700X. And it's hard to see Microsoft pricing the Xbox Series X anywhere less than $599. Even at that price point, Microsoft will likely make a significant loss per unit. This makes rumors about a possibly entry-level Lockhart seem more realistic, as market audiences at a more so pretty much they're saying that like you can dominate the generation by releasing a console that's super powerful, the hardcore gamers like that want a PC kind of experience, but you also get the casuals by telling them, hey, you don't have to spend the $600, dude. Like you can spend $300 and still game with the hardcores, and that's how they want to dominate the market. You know what I mean?
Right.
I always remember reading too. That I always hear like when PlayStation and Microsoft, Sony and Microsoft release a new console, they always lose money early on in the manufacturing cost because it's up to date, and as the manufacturing becomes cheaper down the road, it becomes easier, and that's where they start making a little bit of profit. I just think they're going to be prepared to take a little bit of a hit financially, because they have at least especially at Microsoft, because they have the backing of Game Pass bringing money into them, so that they may take a hit on their physical console, right, to get more people on Game Pass and playing and getting money that way. So they're getting money coming in from another direction, but they're still getting that money and they're getting their console out there. So I think they're looking at doing something like that. I bet we still see this Xbox probably coming in, I don't know, I think less than $500, and it might be like $499, but I think it's going to be around that price point no matter what. And they just will hope to make it up down the road because, they want to win this next generation console war, and they're making a lot of moves to do the stuff like that with Game Pass and buying these, developers and all that stuff. So I think they'd be willing to take a hit initially if they can make the money down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're right on par with what I was going to say. Because even if like Microsoft came out and said, "Oh, okay, here it is. It's going to be, it's 12 teraflops. It's 16 teraflops. It's the fastest SSD ever." I just don't, just going by the fact that it is a console, and you've got consumers out there that they're only going to pay so much, right? I mean, even if you look at history, like, I don't know, what is the most they'd ever pay? Would they pay $600? Probably. Is it even worth?
People would. You would pay $600, Gunny.
I would pay $600 for sure.
Most of our listeners would pay $600.
I think that's probably like the most I would probably pay, but knowing that it's worth that much. But I do believe, like Mayo said, I think with the fact that they probably stopped right there and said, okay, let's with all the stuff that we're putting in, let's not, let's keep it at that $499 price.
You know why most of our listeners would pay that $600?
Why?
Because they hear us talk about PC gaming every fucking week and how expensive it is. And they're like, if I can get a console that is on par with like Jesus' PC,
right,
at half the cost of what he paid for his shit, why not?
Of course.
Then too, as like a customer or something like that, I would justify it as that's a lot of my time. Like if I buy a new console, I put a lot of time into it, and I know I'm gonna have that console for a good couple of years probably. Like most likely, you're only gonna buy one or two consoles in that that cycle. So you maybe, you probably bought the original Xbox One, and I'm assuming maybe some of you guys got an S when it came out, but some of you guys might have waited, but you bought the X when it came out. So it's going to be an investment long term. And how many hours do you actually put into that console?
Oh, dude, if I could
owning it, and then you divide the hours by what you paid for it, then your cost is really low in that aspect.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to bring up, I was talking to Jesus a little bit earlier about this, was that this is what I expect from the next Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly what this is with this SSD drive, with 12 teraflops, Vega 64, throwing all these things in there and seeing Sinel's sacrifice the next game and imagining what the next Forza looks like, which we'll find out in June, and seeing more Halo. This is definitely going to keep me in the
Sony's
family
right
of Xbox.
And really talking about the hard drives. Like, I don't think people realize how much better these new hard drives are going to be compared to what's in these Xboxes and stuff now.
Oh, you'll see. Yeah.
It's such a big jump. I mean, to me, that's a bigger deal than them graphically right now. Like, it's going to be an improvement.
Everybody's been asking for it, so Phil listens, right?
But when you guys get these new hard drives and these new Xboxes, and you haven't tried these new hard drives on PCs and stuff, it's going to be night and day for you guys. I mean, it is.
I'm telling you, people are going to be... they're going to be getting up like, well, I turned my Xbox on. Let me go get my drink and my chips. Like, you don't need to do that now. Trust me. When I turn on this computer, it's lightning. It's like 6 seconds. Everything's up and running,
And yeah, I fired up Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation or the Xbox downstairs the other day, and it took forever. Like, the load scene was just kind of like, okay, maybe. Is it doing anything? Oh, there it is. And I'm like, how can people be used to this? It's so insane to me. And then when these new Xboxes are going to come out, I think people are going to start playing on these new Xboxes and these new PlayStations, and they're going to go back sometime and try to play some old game that wasn't like backwards compatible, and they're not going to be able to like stand it. They're going to be, how could I possibly wait this long, for this game to load? Because it's insane how much difference it is with today's technology compared to what is in those Xboxes and PlayStations right now.
Yeah, it'll be amazing and an appreciation, hopefully, that they appreciate your time.
Speaking of math, you brought up math, Mayo, and you do the math minute per hour. So I went to the Galaxy launcher that I have for good old games, and it pretty much tallies up like your average gameplay of whatever game, based on your save files on your consoles or whatever. It tallies up how many hours you've played in the last so many years. So since 2017, it says I have 4,092 hours game. And I went ahead and I multiplied $3,000 or divided it by 4,000 hours. And it turns out that if I spent $3,000 since 2017 in game peripherals, which I feel like maybe I have, I bought a PC last year for $1,000.
And you bought one this year?
An Xbox, got a new one this year, so it's like, upgrade another $1,000. So yeah, whatever, the PS4, the Oculus, you might
be a little bit over.
All right, let's go 5,000. And we'll divide that by the 4,090 something hours, 4,095 hours that I have in gaming. It turns out that I've paid $1.22 per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of all those hours that I've gamed, and that thing's probably not accurate. I probably have way more hours than that.
Right.
That's just what it can pull from the information. So, yeah. Yeah, I got my money's worth out of it, I guess. If I look at it that way, right? Yeah.
Right, so you can look at it as your entertainment costing you $1 per hour. And where can you go do that anywhere else?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. You can't even go to the fucking movies for $1.
If you go to the movies, unless you have...
buy a box of candy.
Yeah, that's where you... Hey, you know what? That's where you do like where I do is I just walk across the street and go to the candy store.
Yeah.
I'll get a little gelato. I'll get a bag of candy. I got my bottle of water. Yeah. It's like one in each side of my...
Maybe you could beat it by going to Redbox and renting a movie from Redbox for $1 and then watching it. But that's about it.
It's not the same as the theater, though.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So the ball's in your court, Sony. What do you got? What's up with the next PlayStation?
Moving on now to some more NVIDIA rumors now, Gunny. The NVIDIA Ampere GA100 rumor specs is 3 times faster than the Xbox Series X. I'm just throwing everything at you today, guys. I'm going from what's more powerful. Now I just told you the Xbox is the most powerful thing in the world, Gunny, and now I'm throwing something that's new.
Gosh, I was on
NVIDIA is the most powerful thing ever.
So long.
So, this is only a single source for this leak from a Chinese forum, with the folks at WCCF Tech picking it up and running with it. They said the Ampere GA100 GPU in question looks like an absolute beast, with this rumor concentrating on the full-fat GA100 GPU with a huge 8192 CUDA cores at 2 gigahertz, which is crazy, 1,024 tensor cores, 130 RT cores, and a whopping 48 gigabytes of memory. So, all in all, we're looking at 36 teraflops of performance, Gunny.
Yeah, I was going to get an Xbox Series X 5 minutes ago.
36 teraflops of performance. This is
I'm paying $750
compared to 12.
So they say this is not the GeForce RTX 3080 Ti or the next-gen Ampere-based Titan RTX, but it would rather be the flagship Tesla card for like the huge servers, But you should get a cut-down version of this to arrive in the form of the GA102, which would be like the next-gen RTX 3080 Ti. But yeah, I mean, so if that's like the mega one they're going to use for like those huge servers, what do you think we'll see for like base?
I'm thinking 20 teraflop range.
Yeah.
Like low 20s, like maybe like 20 even. Trying to think what our last couple have been. They've been jumping by almost like 4-ish. So I think the 2080 Ti right now is rated at 13. So I'm guessing, that would put it to 18 range. Maybe they can push a little more. Maybe shoot for 20 teraflop.
Yeah.
An even number to look at and be like, yeah, we got all the teraflops, 20 teraflops, kind of thing. So
I play 4 games at the same time.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
But we'll see. I mean, this also is coming in after, and AMD is now like revealing all their tech for like the new consoles. They revealed their next-gen RDNA 2 and Navi 2X plans. So, yeah. I mean, they got more.
And their show was coming up, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't been yet, right? I don't think the CDC, I think they called it, or something.
GDC?
I know it's coming, or GDC, yeah. It's coming really soon.
Well, they canceled it for later this year.
Yeah, it's been. They say
but
postponed, but
yeah. Moving on to more news, Gunny. More fucking news here. Does Xbox kill PC gaming?
Yay!
We're going to go back and forth. Every article, guys, is going to go back and forth. We're freaking going to flip-flop on this shit all day.
clickbait, and more clickbait.
I love this salty.
Best news ever when we got article. A bunch of clickbait. The Xbox Series X is going to be a beast. On paper, its sheer power blows away most gaming rigs today. But what does it mean for PC enthusiasts like the Mayo? To be honest, there's still plenty we don't know about the Series X or what the state of the PC hardware will be later this year, but based on Microsoft's spec dump last week, we can start making some educated guesses, Mayo. The Series X will feature an AMD Zen 2 CPU and an NVMe SSD, giving it modern processing capabilities and fast storage to reduce load times. But really, its AMD RDNA 2 graphics card is the true star of the show. And notably, it's something PC gamers cannot even buy yet. It is capable of 12 teraflops of computing power, Gunny, meaning it can crunch through 12 trillion floating point operations a second.
Whoa.
That's about twice as fast as the Xbox One X, the fastest console currently on the market, and around 3 times speedier than the PS4 Pro. That's a performance leap we'd expect in next-generation hardware. What's even more remarkable is that the Series X GPU is also significantly faster than the vast majority of PC video cards today. And it's only bested by NVIDIA's 14.2 teraflop RTX 2080 Ti, a card that's beyond most gamers' budgets, around $1,200. PC players typically aim for more affordable GPUs like the AMD Radeon RX 5700 and NVIDIA's RTX 2060 Super. What kind of hobo shit is this? Come on, guys. No,
Yes.
Gunny. Which go around
It's happening. It's
which
true.
can go for around $300 and $400 respectively. And while those cards are pretty capable of 1080p and 1440p monitors, they can't reliably hit the 4K 60 FPS benchmark Microsoft is aiming for with the Series X. So, should you just throw away your gaming PC and replace it with the Series X, Mayo?
No.
Probably not.
yet.
Why
But
not?
Microsoft's new console does signal a shift in the modern gaming world, one where PC players don't always have the hardware advantage. It's a bit of a throwback to the mid-90s when the PlayStation was delivering 3D graphics before most PCs could even handle it. So I'm sure you're wondering, how will the PS5 compare? At this point, we've only had broad sketches from Sony. It says the system will also have an AMD Ryzen CPU and RDNA GPU, but we don't know how similar they'll be to the Series X. And we'll also know it'll feature a faster load time than the PS4 thanks to SSD storage. Notably, both gen consoles will support hardware-accelerated ray tracing, giving you more realistic lighting and reflections. On PCs,
Nice.
only NVIDIA's RTX lineups support that today. And turning on ray tracing can lead to significant performance hit on games that really lean on it, like Control. It'll be
good
interesting to
game.
see if AMD's revised RDNA architecture handles ray tracing more efficiently than NVIDIA's hardware. The real question with the Xbox Series X: how much will all of that power cost you? We can only guess at the moment, but the original Xbox One came out at $499 with the ill-fated Kinect accessory, while the PS4 was $100 less. That price difference and a better library of exclusives was enough to give Sony an early lead this generation. The Xbox One X was also $100 more expensive than the PS4 Pro when it launched, though that difference was a bit more excusable since Microsoft was aiming at enthusiasts. I wouldn't be surprised to see Microsoft stick with the $499 price, but given the rising cost of computing hardware in general, plus the positioning of the new Series X towards enthusiasts, it could be $550 or even $600. Oh,
Could be.
my God. Gunny, should Mayo throw away his PC and just buy a console now? Should he?
Yes.
Well,
Do it,
what I
Mayo.
found funny was it said that these consoles have hardware that PC players haven't experienced yet, but I don't think the console players have experienced it yet either because it's not out yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's funny how they kind of say that, and they're like, these poor PC people just haven't experienced the power of the Xbox Series X, and I don't think most people have. So I think the time it comes out, it's going to be on par with selling, probably what a higher end PC is, and that's great, that's awesome. But what happens in a year? That technology just keeps moving, and that console stops there.
Not even a
it's-
year, right? Yeah.
right? I'm going to go
not
with
even a year
whatever
because,
comes out.
like, we already read the article before that was already talking about how the new Ampere cards by NVIDIA are, like, super powerful. So it could
And
be
they're
even
even
this year.
rumoring those in the fall. Yeah, they said they thought them were going to come out like initially. NVIDIA always releases their cards around June or July. They said this year it might be pushed back now, according to a leak. And this is all just tentative, leaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then I'm hearing like September now, or like October. But that's also convenient, like right before the consoles come out, that NVIDIA might be releasing a new GPU that's more powerful, conveniently. And I don't know. It could be just ironic, but
I
it seems
think
like it's almost planned.
I think the other thing we're going to see too, guys, and I think it'll make a difference, despite the fact that this is like a PC now, right?
Yeah.
Like almost what we were saying with the Xbox One when that launched, where it was like Windows 10. I think that, and even currently right now, you can play with a mouse and keyboard, and they sell them, right, for your Xbox One, your Xbox One S and X, and but now when you're getting this new Series X, you're going to see, I think you're going to see something more at E3 where, hey, use that mouse and keyboard play Fortnite at 120 FPS or whatever it is, and higher frame rates and faster loading times and things like that, just to kind of like, keep people in the console camp, of things. Mm-hmm. To buy more. Not like personally, you're not going to get any more PC players over to Xbox, but
let's be real here. If 600 seems too much money for you, and trust me, like, it's a lot of money for me, dude. What the fuck, I mean, if you feel like you don't want to spend $600, you can always wait. Always wait.
Or you can go buy Lockhart for $300.
Or, if you don't want to wait, I guess you can buy Lockhart for half the price. But say you already have an Xbox One X. We've already seen that the Lockhart is rumored to be lower, teraflops, and so it means maybe less power than what the X can do already. Yeah, I could see that Lockhart is probably going to have the SSD in it. It's probably going to be loading times will be way faster. It's going to boot up quicker.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All that shit is going to have that suspended game mode where you can suspend 2 games at the same time. It's going to have all that. It's going to have the same features. But if you really have an Xbox One X, you can probably wait it out till next year and buy it on a discount. Or wait the year after that and buy it at a discount. Because inevitably, all these things go into price drops. They eventually go price drops, right? Or sales or whatever.
And remember another thing, too, where, hey, let's keep GameStop alive here, people out there listening. Whatever console you got now, I don't care if it's probably, maybe not the original Xbox One. If you do have an S and you do have an X, it's pretty much you're going to see a lot of these things. Hey, come trade in your console. You get $100 credit.
Yeah, or $150 credit. I think for most, like, the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, they give like $150 credit or something like that, don't they?
Yes, they do. So it might be in-store credit. So that'll be towards your console or whatever else you're buying.
Now your console is $450.
Right.
You're good right there. I know it sucks that it's expensive, but you're the one that wanted that power. We're the ones that keep saying we need powerful shit. We want to see the power. What the fuck?
I want to see it. I want to feel it. I'm going to feel it in day one. Take my X. Give me my Series X. Give me that 12 teraflops.
PS5, Gunny. I'm sorry.
Why? You know what my son said today?
What?
Since he's been in the PlayStation 4 for a week. I mean, again, he's not a console player. Like, he hasn't been for a couple of years at least. And I really like the PlayStation.
It's a lot of fun, dude.
He's like, I like the interface and everything. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's way better. The interface is for sure so much easier to control. Watching him navigate through
PS,
the menu all the way to the library, I'm like, it's so much more simplified.
It's so fucking simple. It's a one bar. It's not like Xbox.
One bar. It's easy.
You have to fucking didn't they change it again on the Xbox now, where like you don't tab over now,
I've seen
you go up and down?
A recent update. Yeah.
Which is okay. It actually has gotten. I'll say now that they've kind of gone back to simple. It's at a better state now than it has been in the past.
How many OS changes has Xbox had since launch?
Too damn many. I told you it gave me a headache just watching them go through the changes.
How many fucking changes? I think since 2013, they've changed that menu, I would say more than 100 times.
I was gonna go with like 10. I'm being generous here.
No, like they've changed that menu a lot. Like every week. For a while, remember if you were part of the beta program, for like a while I was part of it. And it seemed like every 3 days I was getting a new update. What the fuck did you change now? Like, it's been 3 days, dude. You haven't even let us test the last one. What can you possibly have changed in the fucking 3-day period?
What they were doing, remember, let's just call the elephant in the room. When that Xbox One came out, it was having issues just navigating around without it hanging up, and
it was bad,
freezing, and it was just bad. So, but it took them this long.
PS4 has done what? Like one update to their shit, 2 maybe.
Yeah, they didn't need to. It's just
they don't need to. Yeah,
cleaner interface.
Well, I don't understand too. I thought I'd seen the other day there was an Xbox update, and it said something like you could eject your game out of the console off your controller.
What?
Yes.
And I'm
Remember
like,
the Xbox 360 was a feature? Yeah.
I'm like, what's the point in that? I'm like, if you have a wireless controller and you want to make it eject the disc game
You have to get
out of the
walk to
console,
it.
you still have to get up and take it out. So yeah, or you just want to let it hang out the front of your Xbox. I don't know. I thought that was the most pointless feature. I'm like, why can't I just walk over and hit the button if I have to walk over and get it out anyways? Like,
but I mean, that was a feature that was on the 360.
Why they put that in?
From way back in the day. Why are they barely adding that now?
Yeah, and it's just weird to me. It's thinking of a button, on my controller, I can make it eject the game. Unless I have maybe I guess some people out here have kids.
My kid was asking,
be like, "Hey Billy, grab that game that's in that disc, or in the Xbox, and put the other game in for me." I don't know.
I don't know.
My kid did ask me how he gets the disc out, and I showed him, and he's like, "No way!" Like it actually is hidden even on the PS4. It's hidden.
PS4 is difficult. I always get it confused with the power button. Because, one is the power button and one is the disc. I always like, oh, fuck, I hit the power button. Fucking it.
Turn it off.
I always forget which one is which. Because it's so tiny. The little logo on there is so tiny. You can't fucking see it. And it's like, okay, I'm going to guess.
I didn't even know there was a logo. I just know where it is.
No, they have Google. A little, like, on the plastic.
I had to YouTube it.
Where the light is, they have a little logo. It has like the power symbol or the eject symbol, but it's so tiny that I don't know anyone that could see that fucking thing.
I just started pressing my finger everywhere till I figured it out. I was like, is it this one? No. What does this do? Nope.
No. Yeah.
It's like a hidden door or something. Okay.
We'll see though.
But
anyways,
it's fun.
More news. Bethesda was surprised at how uninterested players were in Fallout 76's PvP, Gunny.
So was I.
So, while plenty of Fallout players have suggested over the years the future of games in the series could do well with an option for co-op multiplayer, the addition of player versus player combat in Fallout 76 was not met with the enthusiasm. Although not much about Fallout 76 was met with enthusiasm. But, as Bethesda's Senior Vice President of Global Marketing and Communication, Peter Hines, told US Gamer, quote, I think we were a little surprised how few people wanted to take part in PvP and how many more they were interested in the PvE together as opposed to, I want to test my mettle against you and let's get into a duel. There's some folks who do, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a smaller percentage of our player base than we thought. Hines went on to explain that the Wastelanders expansion coming to Fallout 76 in April is only the start of the changes, suggesting a reinvention comparable to what was achieved with the Elder Scrolls Online. They said, quote, we're going down this path. It's not that we're doing this and we're done. They've done a lot of work on the systems level to make these possible in Wastelanders that they want to build on and use for more content that we're going to be doing the rest of this year and into the next year and beyond. So pretty much just saying like a lot of their players did not engage in that PvP mode they added.
Yeah, and I know that Epic Eric, he does stream once in a while on Mixer, and I do ask him, about PvP and stuff, and I don't think he always does it. I think he kind of switches back to the PvE stuff, and I don't know. And I always see that it's on sale currently for $20, and I'm always like hovering over it, like, should I get it? And then they had several free weekends, and I didn't take advantage of it, so I've never played it. But I don't know. I just don't know if it's something that I would play. Like maybe I don't want to go back and play. Maybe I just want the Fallout 5 is what I want. I want these AI companions and things in the game that I know that they're actually bringing to this. So there will be quests you can actually get from NPCs, excuse me. So, yeah. It's a work in progress.
Moving on to more news. There's a documentary about the duct-taped gamer coming out. So,
I've seen the duct-taped gamer. I've seen several of them.
Since 2003, the infamous photo of a Counter-Strike player duct-taped into a cocoon hanging from the ceiling still scoring frags or whatever we called them back in the day has been going around the internet. In 2017, a Kotaku article told the story of the LAN game where it happened, unearthing the identity of the duct tape gamer himself, Drew Purvis. But apparently there's more to the story left to be told because, as the trailer above shows, there's an entire documentary being filmed about this duct tape phenomenon. According accompanied by monologue lifted from Star Wars, the trailer promises to tell the true story behind one of the internet's most famous photos. It's called Internet Legends, Duct Tape Gamer. And is made by the same crew of nerds who are nerds responsible for the original photo, and there has not been a release date announced. So they're going to make a document about their photo. That's cool.
Does this guy eventually turn into a butterfly? Look at him. He looks... Did they just feed him from there? Give him a straw?
Like, that's like, I've seen that photo. I'm like, they must have used so much tape and like it must have hurt so bad to get out of there. Well, not if he's wearing pants, I guess, but like still, like, can you imagine how uncomfortable that must have been for his body? Like his back must have been like aching.
I can imagine because he's actually reaching down a little bit, like his head and arms are down to actually play the game.
Your back has to be killing you by the end of that. Like, however many hours you were up there. You're probably up there for... What if you have to take a piss or something, dude?
Maybe they just cut a hole in the tape to kind of he can release. But I don't know if you got to do the number twos. I'm not sure.
What are you doing up there? You're just stuck. You can't get out. You can't get down till the match is over. And your buddies are going to let you down, you know?
Yeah. I would have left him up there for a week.
So would I. Like, fuck. All right, bro. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good night. He just suspends and sleep. Yeah, like there's no option for a pillow here.
Yeah, sleep with her. It's good for the back.
Yeah, I'll see this documentary. Can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
See how long he was there.
Yeah. What else do we have for news? Dun 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 dun. That's all I have for news, Gunny.
That's it, huh? All right. I don't see much else.
No. Gunny, real quick on that, you were talking about you wanted a new monitor, and the one that I bought, Gunny, has gone up in price. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw that like $100. I was like,
what the fuck? I must have got
coronavirus.
I must have got it at the right time because this shit went up in price a lot. Literally, it was down to like 3 something or something like that, and it went up to $599.
No, I thought it was at $480 or $460.
I see it on Newegg right now for $525, but on Dell I see it for $449. So
I'll wait for another sale.
Go get it, Gunny.
Like I said, I need to do that upgrade. I need the new graphics. I need the new GPU, new motherboard.
What are you gonna get, Gunny? Let's talk right now. What are you gonna get for the new graphics card?
2060.
Why?
I don't know. Whatever. You know what? I just try to keep everything under that $500.
Okay, well you could do
each peripheral.
You could do a 2070 for 500. You could do a 2070 Super for 500.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect for me.
You're
keep it under that 500. I'm good. Huh?
You're not really looking for much power, are you?
No.
Yeah.
And this is why he buys the 4 teraflop Xbox.
No, I'm buying the 12. I'm going with 12 teraflops, baby. I'll get my kid the 4 if he plays it.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people are gaming on like 1060 cards and shit like that, dude. Like,
yeah, there's a lot.
I'm surprised how many people I talk to. I'm like, yo, what kind of hardware are you running? They're like, oh, I'm running like a fucking 1050. Like whatever, you know what I mean? Like some really old graphics cards. I'm like, how? Or
you're on a laptop that's older, you know.
Like I'm running an i3 with the fucking 1050 card, and it runs fine, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? How are you?
I've talked to guys at work, and you know they're PC gamers. And I'm like, oh yeah, what kind of hardware you're running? Da 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 da. And he's like, yeah, I'm playing, Dark Souls, the first one, and he's like,
yes.
I'm playing it on a 960. Not like a 980 Ti, not like a 960, at 1080p. I'm like, oh, that's good. It's cool. I'm glad you enjoy it, but
right, because it's all about the art style. It's all about the game, right? To them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because there's almost like a disconnect.
I meet those people at work. Yep.
There's the people that have the most current stuff all the time, And there's people like, I would say like myself, who lets it ride for a little while. Then I upgrade every 4 years, 5 years. And then you have the people that just buy it and then they just sit on it forever until it just doesn't work. you know? And,
I meet people about like, oh, I want to get the new Xbox. I'm like, the Xbox Series X? No, the Xbox One. I'm like, what Xbox are you playing on? Well, I have that, what's the 360 one? I'm like, I feel like I'm talking to somebody in the
have
past,
that Star Wars one that came out back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised. I mean, I don't know, Mayo. Like, the truth of it all, though, Mayo, is if you're looking to get into PC gaming really cheap, you can build like a really cheap system.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the beauty of having a PC though too, is you can do it however you want. You can get in at a certain price point and maybe change it later. Upgrade later. You can add a part to it later. I always tell people, like, when they build them or when I build them for people, maybe when you go to buy your RAM for your computer, you want to only buy 16 instead of 32. I said you can always add 16 more later. As long as you want to buy the same timings and stuff like that. But you could do that, or you could spend. Okay, I don't want to spend $500 on a GPU. Maybe I want to spend $200 on a GPU, and then in a couple of years, the high end GPUs are going to come down in price. They're going to buy that GPU for $200, and they just kind of stay a little further behind, but it works. And they may not get the top frame rates and stuff like that at all the time, but they can still play the most recent games, and their cost is a lot less. And so I do know some people that do that. They think it's crazy that I go out and buy upgrades every like 4 years, and they're buying it for the first time, period. After 4 years of it's being out, and I'm going, he's buying the stuff I'm selling and buying it cheap, and gaming off of that, which it works, and you can do it that way too.
Whatever you choose, folks.
Nice.
Yep. All right, Jesus, I think it's time for the console corner.
Yeah.
Speaking of consoles. So for, let's see, PlayStation Plus for the month of, what did I put, January? It is March now. You get Shadow of the Colossus and Sonic Forces. We spoke about those two last week. Definitely go get those two. And over for Xbox, your Xbox One, your backwards compatibility game for this week, you get the first 2 weeks, Batman: The Enemy Within, which is Telltale, I believe. Episodes 1 through 5. I didn't write it down, but I believe that's what those are.
I believe it was. Yeah, I downloaded them actually the other day.
And your backwards compatibility game is Castlevania: Lords of Shadow 2. Never got into the newest Castlevania games besides playing those on back on the original PlayStation, and gosh, even back on the NES, the SNES. I think that's when those games were at their best, honestly. Looking at Xbox Game Pass, your featured games are, guys, get ready, Train Sim World 2020. Yeah. Don't play that. All right. Unless you really like trains, then go play it. It's not a true sim. And NBA 2K20 featured on the Xbox Game Pass this week. And looking over to our Epic Store, you get 2 free games this week, guys. 2 free games on the Evil Epic Store. Off-World Trading Company and a game called Goner. I think it's Goner, Gonner. I believe that's a indie darling platformer. Off-World Trading Company. I believe I got this early on in the PC days. Of something you've ever checked out, Mayo? Jesus?
No, it's not.
Okay. Thought it might have. I know it's had some free Steam weekends, and yeah, not sure if it's an RTS or exploration of what it is. But either way, get your free games on Epic Store. Oh, and shout out to Sean Fuller for putting our free Steam game. They do have one this week, and it is called The Uncertain Last Quiet Day. Looks like some robot stuff going on that one. I know they came out with a newer one, but this is one of the first one. The Last Quiet Day by The Uncertain. So get your free Steam
I
game.
need to check Epic.
Something about us talking about the free games. Jesus, had you ever, and I know I don't, do you ever realize like Steam has a demo page where you can download demos of games and check them out? I don't mess with them myself, but have you ever done that?
No.
I've never done the demo. I've seen like the free stuff, but never the demos.
Yeah, like if you go to the store, it's on there. There's a tab that you can go to demos, and I never do. And I wonder if it's.
Yeah, I almost feel like
have.
that's why we use I use a lot of YouTube, especially if I look at a Steam game, where I'm like, all right, let's check out reviews, gameplay.
Mayo.
But never actually download the demo.
We are the demos.
We are.
We play it for you.
Yeah,
Either
right.
purchase it or we play the demo.
Play it for the listener, and the listener may like it. Based
Off of Jesus' bank account.
Yeah. And yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, guys, there is one other thing. Remember I talked about that Yakuza Zero game from last week?
Mm-hmm.
Well, played that on Game Pass. Again, not being the Japanese, games in the know of things, or even playing any of those in the series, where I played it for literally 3 hours last week, right? I was really getting into it. Matter of fact, I was thinking about it this week. I'm like, man, I need to go back to it because the story is so good. Well, I went back to fire it up, and guess what? Load game. There is no save game. Like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, so then I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, man, I guess it's not an automatic save. And I'm like pretty much almost all the games on Xbox, I don't care what it is, it's like it's going to automatically save it. Maybe I didn't check the setting in the box or what have you. Anyway, so fire the game up. I pretty much skipped all like the tutorial and some of the dialogue stuff. And as soon as I walk around the corner, there's a phone booth, excuse me. And it's like, it's got a big giant S on it for save. That's where you save the game. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I figured this out. I didn't even know. So, and I remember I had posted that.
Manually saved, but you never did.
Yeah. So, like every phone booth that I find now, I'm actually going back and just saving it like every chance I get. Or I go out of my way to go find one.
Nice.
Because what was weird is when you go through, part of the story is, hey, you need to go call headquarters. So go to the phone booth. But it doesn't let you, as soon as you enter that phone booth, it starts off with, okay, now I'm calling, like a cutscene almost. But if you go back into the phone booth, a second later, it'll say, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to go into your items or save the game? So just like some basic shit that, I didn't know before. But now I'm good, man. Now I just need to get up to this boss battle and kick this dude's ass and keep going. So either way, I'm loving that game. I definitely recommend it. Yakuza 0. And that is all we have for our console corner, guys.
Alrighty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to community question time. Question of the week.
Mayo, what is the question of the week that we currently have? Do you know?
So the question of the week was, are there any games that you really suck at but keep playing anyway?
Ooh, and I got it, Mayo. Don Bennett had the same answer as you.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Yeah, all of them.
Oh, wow.
All the games.
Yeah, I think she's selling herself short there. I bet she has some games she's good at.
She definitely won with the first comment. When I went in and I looked at that answer, I'm like, yeah, perfect. Shout out to Don over there.
Yep.
And Ricky Alfaris says Call of Duty. I see a lot of Call of Duty in here. Definitely Call of Duty. Man, I remember with me it was like Medal of Honor a little bit. Then it was Battlefield. Then it was Call of Duty for me.
Darren Hilton says, I'm an achievement whore, so if I start a game and I get an achievement and I don't like it, I have to play to get them. That
Ouch.
sucks. That really...
Yeah.
God, that is horrible. That must be like the worst thing in the world.
Right. I'm thinking it's like nails
Why
on a
would you-
chalkboard almost.
Why would you torture yourself that way? Fuck achievements. Who cares? No one cares about that number. Let's be real here. No one looks at your achievement number and says, oh, wow. Gunny has 100,000 achievements scored. No one cares.
I think I'm at 81. I feel like it's growing, but I'm not. It's not something I used to try and I tracked him for like a minute. Jesus, literally 30 minutes. Remember when that feature came out on Xbox One? Track your achievements. Keep it right on the dashboard. And it was so annoying. I was like, just because I kept trying to watch the number go up by the second as I would kill an enemy, I immediately turned that feature off. But I'm happy overall when I do get an achievement.
Yeah, me, I ignore them. I don't even pay attention to them.
Yeah, right.
They pop up and I just keep on going.
There are certain games that I want all
And
the
Steam
achievements.
is the worst. Steam has like 1 billion achievements for games sometimes. Like, you
Yeah.
got 50 achievements in some cards, some Steam cards or some shit.
And the only time I really pay attention, like in Dead Cells, I would try to get most achievements in Dead Cells, but like I have to really, really want to be into that game, to want to get a lot of the achievements. The cards, not so big of a deal, unless you want to trade them and get that backgrounds and stuff like that. But yeah. But yeah, continuing on, Alexander Green says Mortal Kombat. I don't know if it's all of them or
Probably
if it's
11.
fighting games in general
Probably
or
all of
what.
them.
But
I mean, it's pretty, you suck at one fighting game, you probably suck at most of them.
yeah, that's the way I
They're
am
all
anymore. I remember
same.
being good at Street Fighter 2 when it came out, and that's like the last ones I ever really played. And now I'm just really bad at them. So
Yeah, there are some adventure stuff in Mortal Kombat that, but man, you get into that PvP, ooh, that gets rough. Charlotte Johnson says Apex. I don't play it a lot, but I shouldn't at all.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, you're selling yourself short on that, Charlotte. I've seen you stream that. It's entertaining. Watch you die. No kidding.
Richard Martin Jimerson says, I wouldn't say I suck at it. Okay. I suck at it a lot. But the one I like to play and don't have a passion to really get good at is probably Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. The closest thing I have to a strategy is, okay, I'm going to swing the sword in this direction. If you get hit, it's your own fault. Well,
Yeah.
that's a solid strategy there. Richard, hopefully it works out for you.
Hey, Richard. So, there's a streamer that I watch on Twitch, and I believe his channel is actually called like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Like it's the actual name of the game. This dude out of Australia, and he actually shows like it's all he ever plays, and it actually shows like him as he goes through like a perfect run in a perfect game, like what buttons he's pushing on an Xbox One controller. Oh, well, at least that's what it shows, like in the bottom right hand side of the screen. And that I'm sure that really helps with a lot of people with strategies. So, yeah, I believe he puts the stuff on YouTube.
Joseph O'Neill says Call of Duty Online.
Yeah, figures.
Alexi Hines says Call of Duty, of course.
Bob Noble, of course, Call of Duty. But lately, Pavlov. I suck at reloading, but it's still a blast. Telling you, man, that reloading in Pavlov is
It's hard
that
stuff.
shit'll-
Yeah.
You'll shoot a fucking machine gun gunny thinking you're a badass 16. It's like, how the fuck do I reload this thing? You're like trying to press all the buttons. You're trying to fucking hit the thing against the wall. And then you just throw it at the enemy and run.
And then Bob, he needs to find
Hoping it
us
explodes
online.
like Borderlands 3.
And he could probably show us how to reload the guns better than what we probably do ourselves. So, Bob, if you're listening, you should hit Jesus and I up for some Pavlov.
For sure. There's actually in Pavlov, there's a gun range that has all the guns in the game. So you can practice reloading and shooting in different ranges. Yeah.
You need to do that. Then. You need to go.
I tried.
Stop
I tried
the
using
guns
the
at
sniper
enemies.
rifle, and there's a sniper. Like most sniper rifles have like the bolt action. So every time you fire, you have to pull back on the bolts. That's so fucking annoying in like Pavlov. It's so fucking annoying.
Doesn't that remind you? You know what it reminds me of is Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2. Like, why are there sniper rifles in that game? You know, it's like you're in such close quarters, but hey, it's a gun, and you got to add it to this game, right?
Yes.
Nathan Walton says, I sucked at first on Call of Duty Modern Warfare Online, but now I'm always finishing in the top 3 majority of the time.
Nice.
See? He got good.
Got good, bro. Man the Jazz says life.
Yeah.
Okay. Get it.
The game of life, right? Keep failing and keep going.
Yeah.
Reload.
Marcos Vega, he says PUBG. He says he still doesn't have a chicken dinner.
Damn, Marcos, you missing out, bro.
Hey, I can tell you though, if he's playing PUBG on PC, it's hard. Those guys on PC are just insane. And I know Xbox. I know Jesus. I remember you saying you thought it was easier on the Xbox. I don't know,
way easier.
but it's still hard stuff, and I have a lot of hours of PUBG, and I have a lot of hours of PUBG on PC, and I only have a couple chicken dinners. So those were probably carries.
And on Xbox, I have more than a couple chicken dinners. I have probably like 40, 50 of them. I have quite a bit of them. On PC, I have none. Like, fuck that. I don't have any on PC. It sucks. But yeah, whatever. Fuck, I don't want to talk about PUBG. Fuck PUBG.
All right, this guy, Ryan Gibson, says, any competitive multiplayer game. And I believe you responded to him about pinball or something, but yeah.
Mark
He's
McGard
referring to
says,
that Call of Duty stuff.
Mark McGard says my whole collection. Cool.
Everything, all of it.
Yeah.
Over at Yomar
Lopez, he says good old Apex Legends, LOL. So, yeah.
Normie says all of them. Sure. I don't know. I've seen her play Gears of War. She's badass.
Yeah,
you will get stomped on if you play against Normie and call it in Gears. Bryce McDonald.
You want to do the next one, Gunny?
Bryce McDonald says pretty much all the retro platformers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, Bryce.
I feel like those games, though, when you go back to them now, like you go back to these old Nintendo games, they are way harder than what they seemed back when I was a kid.
Fuck yeah.
I'm like, wow, how did I play these things? These things are so hard.
David Ward says Dark Souls. Check and see.
Not very many. Yeah,
Yes.
that's...
And Alexander Green was kind of similar. He says, speaking of difficulty in Dark Souls, he said Cuphead. He says like, you can't even get past the second level. Too damn hard for me, which is a shame because he loves the art. And that's a game. I made it to the third area, and I stepped away from it. I was determined to beat that game, and I stepped away from the third area. And now when I go back, it's just so hard because I spent so much time away from it. To go back to it in game, it's just so hard. I just have to start over, and I haven't wanted to.
It's funny how my kid knows who the fuck Cuphead is. They did a really good job with that marketing on that game.
Yeah.
Because little kids know who Cuphead is. Like, she knows that. She's like, everyone in my school knows who Cuphead is. Like, really? She's like, yeah, everyone knows Cuphead. That's fucking weird, you know? Like, he's just a brand new IP that somebody made up in the video game, and now everyone knows him. It's fucking weird. Did a good job.
Amazing. Mayo, remember we went and did the Steam stream share thing?
Mm-hmm.
And we played Cuphead, and that was probably...
Yeah
I think my eyeballs were still moving around in my head, back of my head, like when we played that, because I'm like, who's who and where's what and what's shooting where?
Yeah, Gunny was lost. He didn't know what character he was at first.
Yeah.
So he was trying to figure it out.
I had never done like a hardcore...
Mugman, Gunny.
I had never considered, like, that game was just, wow. Like, trying to play that co-op.
Fucking Mugman.
Yeah. Mugman Gunny.
That's what he kept saying. You're Mugman. I'm like, where is he on the screen?
That game?
What was that?
Mm-hmm.
There's a sequel coming from that game?
I think there was. I know they had some DLC at one point, but...
Not that I know of. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out in June.
Wasn't that DLC? The last DLC was the one that came out last year. Right? Was it called The Last Course? Or The Last Dinner Meal? Or The Last Course of Dinner or something?
Yeah, I don't remember the DLC.
Yeah.
I fell off that game real quick.
Anyways.
Let's see. So I know that Ricky Alfarsi was just responding to Alex about feeling the same way about certain games. But he was talking about Bloodborne. Love the setting, but couldn't get past anything. Yeah, I was watching the streamer, man. He just kept reloading and reloading and reloading. It was getting painful to watch, but man, some of those bosses are just so tough. Again, just being like a Dark Souls.
You want to read this next one here, Mayo?
I have this 8th TV guy.
The fuck is 8th TV guy?
Formerly known as Junior Mayo, regular Mayo. He's had some different names, but that'd be my oldest son. He says does life count? So.
Nice.
It's the shadow of living in the real Mayo. Like, behind me is what makes it so rough for him that he has to, nah.
He'll live.
But,
He'll live. Nipron says dreams on the PS4 because it's like going to school for game design and no one got time for that. But they make it really satisfying though, and it gets my creative juices flowing. I need ideas for an HGP game. All right, let me give you an idea right now. Just give them an HGP idea for a game, guys. 3 guys podcasting, and then every time they release the podcast, you have to get likes and reviews from fans. But the shit, you have to mix topics, all right? So you got to have topics like news, and you got to have stupid jokes. You got to search them. You gotta have stupid news, like different news topics and different game topics that they're gonna discuss each podcast, and you gotta mix them in, and then you have them do the podcast and they release it, then they get reviews for doing that. Kind of like if you ever played Video Game Tycoon, do it that way where they're releasing a video game based on certain topics, and then you get reviews on that video game. But this would be you have 3 podcasters doing a podcast based on different topics, and they record it, and you can level up their skills, so each character can be a leveled up skill, this person knows how to talk faster or read better or whatever the fuck. You have them each one level up doing different things, and then the more they level up, the better podcast they produce, the more money they make, the better gear they get, the better microphones they can buy, shit like that. Guys, I just made the
yeah. Yeah, you gotta line up timing to get them all together to be able to record at a certain time and try to make it work
podcast
with their
the
schedules.
Video game. I already fucking made it. It's like Game Dev Tycoon, but podcast version. Get on this, Nipron. Actually, don't even do this on Dreams because Sony's gonna own it. Just do this on your own. Whoever can do this on their own, I will give you the rights to use HGP's likeness in the video game.
All right, so I've got one too.
Oh, that was your.
That's a good idea. I think we're going to give him idea number 2.
Okay, idea number 2
is it's going to be a mech game, right? You're going to have gunny legs, right? Because I'm the racer and I got sexy legs.
Jesus Christ.
I'm calling it. All right. I wear my shorts like Lieutenant Dan. No, or whatever that guy was, Reno 911. You can Google
Gunny wears those super high shorts when he goes out in the summer. Let's go.
Just Google Reno 911. So then you got Mayo arms because he's got better obviously got better arms than you, Jesus, right?
He's long
right.
He was shooting from the hip today, wasn't he? Just I'm better at this Beat Saber man than you. That's how I get 5,000 more points.
He probably has his daughter playing right now, just trying to catch up on the scores.
Right? Where are you going to be at, Jesus? Where are you going to be? I think you're going to be the head. You're going to be the smart one, the intelligent one.
Of the mech?
Head of the neck, right? Head of the neck.
Head of the mech, Gunny, not the neck. What the fuck?
There you go. I was like, wait a minute. So then you'll just be calling out different commands, right?
So what's Gunny. The point of this game, though? What are your mech doing what?
Yeah, you're fighting other mechs. Other creatures, other freaking Godzilla. I don't know. Nipron will figure it out.
This has nothing to do with podcasting or anything. My game had way more to do with podcasting than what we're actually about. Your game just seems to be...
But we'll be in it.
The requirement, though, I have in Gunny's game is that Jesus has to have the Gunny stare at the end. That stare that he gives us in the photos that we were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Right,
you get the Gunny stare.
Maybe I'll be the head on the mech.
Mayo, what's your pitch for your game? Gunny wants a fucking mech game that we're part of the body or something. I don't know.
For a mech game?
No. What's your pitch for an HGP game?
For an HGP game? I don't know. I really liked your idea. Jesus probably initially is doing it like a game dev tycoon type game. I guess after that, I guess we could do a game where we have to come up with ideas about different game related stuff and get it into the industry and do the research and stuff like that. So I don't know. So you would have to do some interaction with actually Google built in. So you have to have Google built in your game, and you have to learn about the hardware, and then you have to be able to incorporate it into what you're going to do as like a developer for your games and stuff like that too. And so almost kind of like what you're doing, but you have to do it more so like adding some more research and more stuff in there.
You're making this game sound really boring.
Yeah, it does sound boring.
You're making it sound really hard, which is not fun. My game is simple, guys. You can put my game on the phone. You can put it on Steam. You can put it on,
I do like
Like
your
8-Bit Life
game.
here? Is that what it's called? 8-Bit Life?
3 little cartoon characters. All right. You pick podcast topics. You have them record a podcast, and you level them up as the more podcasts you record, the more they level up, and then the more they level up, the higher chance to get to invite like special guests on, like Bill, not Spencer. Woo! And you invite the head of the fake Xbox company into the podcast, and then he comes on. Woo! You know, you do different things like that. I'm telling you guys, I need someone who can design art. All right, this is pending horrible gamers now. I'm trademarking this. Fuck you guys.
I don't know. I'm not
releasing
hold on.
my idea, Gunny. This is my idea now.
Listen,
I'm not even going to
I think the listeners out there are probably thinking, a mech with sexy legs. So Gunny for the win.
Ain't no one thinking mech with sexy legs. All right, listen. Maybe after you reach a certain level in the podcast game, you have enough money to start developing hardware, and then you make a mech with sexy legs. But until then, Gunny, you need the money to make the mech.
DLC.
True.
Ooh, this could be some DLC content.
That'll be
you
the
have to get past the regular game.
That'll be the sequel to the podcast game. I'm going to call it the podcast game, and the only name you can name your podcast is Horrible Gamers Podcast. And the only host that could be on the podcast is Jesus, Mayo, and Gunny. And Ryan. And I'm going to have like Ryan as DLC, Eric as DLC, Iams as DLC, Captain Hook as DLC, Brink as DLC.
Do we go the Apex or not Apex, right? But the Fortnite route and charge $20 per DLC character?
No. I'm going to charge 99 cents add-on each
99
one.
cents. Okay.
I can't wait to see what Jonathan Pinpoint comes up as far as Gunny's legs.
All right, guys, this is Pan Penny. I need my designer. I need a graphic designer.
Get on that, Jonathan.
I need my other art director, so I need Nipron and Jonathan to work with this on me. And I know somebody who's isn't somebody listening, a game developer? One of you guys is a game developer. I know there's one of you that's a game developer.
I know a couple that are...
Help me develop this game. I swear to God, if we get this on Steam and make this a popular game, it'd be badass. Imagine, guys, I got a perfect game in my head. I'm stealing all of Game Dev Tycoon's idea, but fuck them. We're going to do podcast version. They'll get like a notable mention in my credits. I stole all their ideas. Yeah, Gunny.
All right. Enough of that funness. Sammy Brand Muffins. We know that guy. His answer is Call of Duty, Rocket League, Fortnite, Overwatch. He said he sucks at a lot of games, but love to play them. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about right there.
This little kid was really good at Fortnite. I was watching him. I was like, holy fuck, dude. He's better at Fortnite than me. He'd probably beat me at that game.
Yeah, he'd never make it to the circle. Not with him at the helm.
Anyways.
Our last one is we got MechMod. He says, honestly, the only game I currently carry people in is the Borderlands franchise. He says, other than that, I suck and I have to get carried all the time. I'm really bad at FPS multiplayer, but absolutely love it.
Absolutely love it.
That's one thing. Every time I jump on, and if MechMod is on playing, he's playing Borderlands, one form or another. You know?
Anyways, what's next week's question, Gunny?
What is it, Mayo? Did we decide on what it was?
No, we didn't actually.
Was it the last one that's on the list?
Sure, go ahead.
So let's go with this question here. If you had the opportunity to work in the video games industry, what position would you pursue? If you had the opportunity to work in the video games industry,
So I guess examples.
what position,
would be
what
like
job would you pursue in that?
Like game design, artwork, reviewing, probably working on the bugs and stuff like that. It's probably options.
Management side of things, sure.
No. Have you guys watched that show on Apple Plus, that Mythic Quest one about the video game studio?
No.
No, saw the trailer. I haven't watched it yet.
It's about like this video game studio who they make a game like WoW, where it's like their game is the biggest game in the world at the time, and it's going through like them releasing like they released a new update to the game or something, but it's all fucked up and people are doing weird shit. And there's white supremacists in the game. They gotta deal with them. Then this is a bunch of fucking shit that they go through in the fucking game. Like, this is about game developing. They have to deal with this little fucking kid named what's his name? Something, I forget his name, but it's like a play on like PewDiePie. But I forget his fucking name. But it's like a little kid that streams, and he reviews their game, and he gives them like bad reviews and shit. So they like fucking hate him. Like, what the fuck? It's fucking funny though. You gotta watch it, guys. It's on Apple Plus, Gunny. Don't you have Apple Plus, Gunny?
Yeah, I do, actually. Yes.
Yeah. Watch it. What the fuck?
I know. I keep watching the trailer, but I haven't watched any episodes.
What was it called again?
Mythic Quest.
I'll see if I can just find it online or something like that, because I don't have Apple Plus. I don't have any Apple product.
Wow. Go buy yourself an iPad.
Well, I guess my daughter has an iPhone.
Get the mini iPad. It's pretty cheap.
You get a year for free.
Yeah, if you buy a new one, you will get a free year. Get that Apple phone. Get rid of that.
Get rid of that shitty ass Android you have.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Oh, bullshit.
Thank you, everyone, for
what are we doing?
Last week's question, and we'll look forward to seeing what you have for next week.
All right, and where can we find you? What the fuck was I thinking?
Hey, who, me?
Yeah, you motherfucker.
Me? You want to know where to find me? Go over on the Xbox. Add me on there. Gunny Chief. Over on Steam, Gunny Chief. On the Epic Store, on the Uplay Store. Yeah, I'm Gunny Chief pretty much most places, except for Facebook. Don't find me. I'm hidden on there. Where do we find you, Mayo?
You're gonna find me everywhere. Steam, Origin, Xbox as the Mayo one, and then just on the Discord is the Mayo. And last, Jesus, where are we gonna find you?
You can find me on everything.
College.
Jesus Walks a Lot, playing games, and being the king in that. Yes, your whatever the fuck it's called game, and also find me on Facebook, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. That's it.
It's Gidget Say, Jesus.
Peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll catch you in the next week's edition of Horrible Gamers Podcast. Show number 300 is coming up very fucking soon. We're only like 2 shows away, guys. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Next week is 99, and then it's 300. Then what are we gonna do with ourselves?
I don't know.
Should we
What does
just
the
be done
community
after
say?
300? Should I just quit?
Just retire?
And just like make a video game about podcasts?
Yeah.
Should I just do that?
We're going to jump in on that. I'm going to get that Dreams. I don't think it's that expensive.
Don't do it on Dreams, motherfucker. I'm telling you, if you do it on Dreams, Sony's going to own the rights to this game. I need to own the rights to this game.
Can we contact Microsoft and do an ID at Xbox thing?
Let's go do an ID and Xbox thing. We'll be a what do you call it? A Xbox Series X launch title, Gunny. We get up on the E3 stage. We talk about how we harvested the power of the teraflop to really bring our game to life.
You know what? We're going to take our idea, our Sony idea, because screw them. We're taking it over to Xbox. It's going to be sub-scattered ray tracing. Bam.
All over. Sub-scattered audio ray tracing.
Xbox exclusive.
World premiere. Us in our shitty ass game.
We welcome Jesus Walkable onto the stage.
To talk about his shitty ass pixel art game that he made. Yeah, fuck yeah. Woo! I'm doing it, guys. At E3, I want to be on stage on Xbox. ID at Xbox, I want to be a featured game. Let's go. Let's get this done, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2 months to do this.
Jesus, can I go shake Phil's hand? Can I go shake
No,
his?
Gunny,
Not with
no.
my sweaty, clammy hands?
Down, Gunny. Sit
At
the
E3?
fuck down. Gunny, you're supposed to stand there next to me and give the Gunny stare to scare the people off.
Can I wear those shorts that I talked about for the mech game?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Phil's gonna love me.
Mayo, you just stand there and look like Mr. Clean.
There you go.
Stand
Hey,
there.
don't shake anybody's hand, you dirty,
Stand
filthy
there.
animal. You're probably infected. All right, guys, wash your hands.
Go to bed.
Wear your mask. Bring your Lysol wipes.
Do all that.
Whatever you got to do.
Bye. Let's make a video game. The podcast game. Bye. Love you. Bye.
That was probably very clever, but I don't seem to understand.